everybody, and welcome to South Carolina. This is the North Carolina A&T Aggies going up against the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. My name is Killian McClatchy. The man standing next to me is Dom Allen. And, well, we have two teams coming off of FBS losses last week. North Carolina A&T to Duke, a tough loss for them, and then Charleston Southern, a beat down at the hands of the South Carolina Gamecocks. These two coming in here trying to pick up a big win. We'll go right into the players to watch for tonight. It's going to be the quarterbacks, Dom.
Yep, you got Jack Chambers for Charleston Southern and Khalil Carter for North Carolina A&T. Both dual threat quarterbacks, both talented players. Khalil Carter's got a little bit more selection of wide receivers to throw to, but we look for Jack Chambers to have a big game tonight.
It's going to be Chambers and this CSU team trying to take down the 17th ranked Aggies. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Football.
And it's good.
Go back in. We're going to go over the keys to tonight's game. We're going to start with the 17th ranked North Carolina A&T Aggies. They come into this one, Khalil Carter, the starting quarterback. He's going to be one of the players to watch. But what are some of the things this Aggies team is going to need to do tonight?
Absolutely. A&T's going to have a dominating defensive performance tonight. Their defense comes in tonight leading the MEAC in defensive total yards. They also need outstanding production for the wide receiver group. They have 4 outstanding wide receivers that Khalil will target tonight, and I look for them to put up a big game tonight. They also need to play sound defense, disciplined football. No senseless penalties, no turnovers, just play good football that they've done in the last 7 seasons, and they'll be all right tonight.
One of those talented wide receivers, Elijah Bell, he's going to be on record watch tonight. Going over to Charleston Southern, it's their quarterback, Jack Chambers. He had a little bit of a rougher week last week, but the entire Buccaneer squad did against South Carolina. What are they going to have to do tonight to come away with a big home upset over NCAA?
No doubt. I look for Jack Chambers to have a really big outing tonight. Really good atmosphere here tonight. A big rivalry. First time these teams are meeting off tonight. They also need to get A&T off the field on third downs. Defense has to do a great job in the secondary with young secondary players. Get A&T off the field on third down and come up with those big stops. They also need to play sound defense. Don't let the wide receivers get too deep and don't leave their gaps wide open. Just play sound defense. Big game from Jack Chambers. And get the stops on third downs, and I think they'll be all right.
North Carolina A&T this season, 8 for 28 on third down. The Buccaneers are going to try and keep them off the field as both sides have taken the field and we're ready for kickoff as the Buccaneers will be sending it deep to the Aggies. Corey Banks, one of the guys back, standing alongside him. Looks like Jordan McDaniel. There's Banks right there. And you see the kicker, Nathaniel Toole. 6 kickoffs this season, no touchbacks. .15 up on the clock here at Buccaneer Field. Toole is back. And we are off from Charleston. Short kickoff. Fielding that one at about the 5 is Banks. Banks is going to take it to the right side. He's going to be met down. A good tackle made there by the Buccaneers special teams. Looked like Jonathan Earl in there on the tackle. And we're going to get a quick look right away at the starting quarterback for the Aggies. Khalil Carter coming into tonight. 24 for 49, 304 yards and 2 touchdowns. We're going to get an early look at him, and Going to go from the I formation. The big fullback, number 46, William Simpson, right behind him. We're going to turn, hand it off to the running back. That's Jermaine Martin, and he's going to go down. Picks up about 5 on the first play.
Tackle was made by J.D. Sosby. Second down.
And there on the tackle was J.D. Sosby. 9th tackle on the season. That's a preseason All-Big South selection right there. Cutter motions a man to the right. That's Banks. Going to read option. He's going to keep it, and he's got a big hole up the middle. Picks up a first down before he's met by the safety coming up. That was a good tackle there. And he gets a first down.
Absolutely. You see them going here with a high tempo, trying to keep this Charleston Southern defense off pace. Oh, fumble snap. Oh, he's able to recover, but he takes some really big loss of yardage there.
A huge loss and a sigh of relief for the Aggies. They might have lost a lot of yards. It's going to be second and very far back. Just a low snap there that Carter couldn't handle.
Absolutely. Yeah, they had a good thing going. Big physical runs from the running back and quarterback. Looked like we were going to see a pass there. Unfortunately, couldn't handle the stop. Look to see what they do here on second and long.
From the shotgun, 3 to the right side. They're just going to hand it off up the middle, and there's a big run. And he's going to be met by the safety once again. That's Darren Smalls stepping up, and whistle finally being blown after a big run. There's Jermaine Martin with a big rush right up the middle, and you see just a big hole being opened up by the big fellas up front.
Absolutely. Good call by the head coach, Coach Washington. Just putting together a simple, easy run play right up the middle, try to regain some of the yardage they lost. Now we got third at about 6 or 7. Look for them to go to the air here.
3rd and 6, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Carter in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass, looking left, and through the hands. That was the leaping wide receiver. That was number 13, Elijah Bell. He's the team leader, but couldn't come down with that one. And there's an early punt being forced by the CSU defense.
Yeah, Killian, just a little bit high. Had a good drive going, established the run game, get the quarterback involved. Bad snap. They kind of fought to regain some of their yards. Unfortunately, high ball there. Going to bring up a quick 3 and out. Charleston Southern defense needs to keep that up throughout the game to have a really good shot at this, putting together a competitive football game.
There's Hall standing back at about the 10. He's going to let it bounce, and it goes into the end zone. That is going to be a touchback. They tried to save it on the punt by Michael Rivers. We're going to take a break right here as the Buccaneers will start with the ball on the 25 when we come back. See, there's Sam Washington, second-year head coach for the Aggies. He comes in with a record of 10-2. Co-defensive coordinator is the Buccaneers offense. Going to get it going quickly. A quick pass out to the left side. Reeling that one in is the senior Cameron Brown.
That was a nice, easy throw by quarterback Jack Chambers, just in rhythm. Look forward for him to go high tempo, real quick passes, establish the run game, and to be very productive and in control out there.
Well, quickly already making the move from the triple option last season, and there's a little bit of read up the middle. Taking that one is Ronnie Harris for a couple yards, and that'll move the sticks. First down of the night for CSU, but we're talking about it moving over from a triple option to what the coach likes to say, Coach Autry Denson, air raid with an attitude.
Absolutely. It could definitely be difficult, especially when your program's used to recruiting such one-dimensional players per se. Focus on the run game. Your offensive lineman a little bit slow or a little bit smaller to get up to a second level players. Looks like we have an injury down on the field.
I've got an Aggie down on the field. We're going to try get a number on who that is. A quick little out to Jeffrey Hall, the senior from High Point, North Carolina. trying to get a number on who's down for the Aggies. But a little bit more will go in while they're tending to him down there on the field and figure out who that is. But going from a triple option, you mentioned it, kind of the recruiting aspect. You recruit a certain kind of guys when you're running an option, and then to completely switch it over and say you're just going to keep on throwing the ball, that's a big difference.
Absolutely, and you see Georgia Tech's going through it right now and having a little bit of difficulties, but it's really tough to kind of get that transition down in the first year. Because like I said, you are recruiting smaller offensive linemen to get up to secondary linebackers and safeties and corners to get more guys on the perimeter, because you are only reading two of those defenders inside the box.
That was number 98, Kadarius Kendrick. He's able to walk off under his own power. Chambers back, pressured, and lets go of the ball. And he barely got that one away. That was some heavy pressure coming off of the weak side.
Yeah, Gillian, looks like number 92, Jermaine Williams, really got a big push up there on the offensive line. You see him coming there late.
Williams and McDaniel, the two there. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Chambers. He's going to peer over to the sidelines to get the play.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to bring pressure off the edge on the short side of the field and do a little play change here. You see him looking to the sidelines to get the correct play from the coach. Move Ronnie Harris over to his left side. Get a little extra protection.
Now the pressure, escaping it. Rolling out past the line of scrimmage near the first down marker. I'm not sure if he got it, though. It depends on the spot. It looks like they're going to mark him a yard shy.
I mean, but that was excellent effort here by quarterback Jack Chambers. You see him, pocket closes down. He rolls out to his right, putting the wheels on, put him move, and missed the tackle. Unfortunately, he just gets caught behind right before the sticks, but that was great effort.
That was Devin Harrell in there on the tackle to rip him down and force this punt. It'll be the first time tonight that we see Kyle Riker, senior from Salem, Virginia, FCS Punter of the Year watch list member. As he takes the ball and he boots it deep, standing back at about the 12-yard line and calling for a fair catch is the Aggies, and that's where the next drive will start for Khalil Carter. They'll start about the 12-yard line. And a bit of a, not necessarily a great first drive, and really it was all maligned by a bad snap on one of those first plays.
Absolutely. I mean, they had a good drive going, established the run game, try to get in rhythm with the pass game. Unfortunately, a bad snap last time for Khalil Carter kind of put an ending to their first drive. We look for them to come back a little bit more high in tempo, a little bit more aggressive to get some points on the board.
Carter will start from the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to his running back, who sidesteps a tackle, breaking a few more. That was a good gain. Looks about 6 or 7. From Jermaine Martin, and he's a slippery guy, just making guys miss.
Absolutely, and he's a tough physical runner. You see there running through the middle, breaking tackles. That could be a very tough place, especially for an offense that likes to throw the ball and spread it around. He's one of the hard-nosed running backs that they do have that will get dirty.
Play action over to the left side, nearly intercepted and being forced out of bounds. Making that catch was Elijah Bell. And the corner nearly got there. That was a very close play. Looks like Gerard Stanley nearly got to him.
You see it here on the replay, just great concentration, focusing on the ball. That could have easily been an interception, just a half step quicker.
5 wide receivers now for Carter. Trips to the right. Carter takes the snap, drop backs the pass. He's going to be looking deep, still holding on to it. Escapes pressure, but not that one. A big-time sack. That one was ripped down. Coming in there for it was number 31, Anton Williams.
That was a great job out of the Charleston Southern defense, just keeping pressure on Khalil. You see him only rush 4. They're fighting, and there you see him finally get to the quarterback and make the sack. That was a great job, and they need to keep the pressure on Khalil Carter in this high-powered North Carolina A&T offense to keep him off rhythm.
A 2nd down and 12 after the sack. He's going to hand it off and no, keep it himself, and he's going to be met quickly. He might not have even gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Trying that read option play, just nowhere to go with it.
Absolutely. You know, it looks like they just have one too many defenders for him to make a miss on. You got to be smart where you run that read option too. You got to make sure your numbers are right, your leverage are right. Myself, coming from a triple option offense at the Citadel, it's all a numbers game.
3rd down and long from the 24-yard line for the Aggies. Carter drops back to pass the screen pass, gets it to Martin, who gets past the line of scrimmage, but he won't get too far as he's wrapped up. That was a nice play made by the DB, Cody Klein, who stepped up to end that one.
And another big stop by the Charleston Southern defense on 3rd and long. It's keeping this high-powered offense off schedule, out of rhythm. They may be somewhat confused over there. What's going on? And this defense is coming out to play tonight.
We'll see Michael Rivers out for the 2nd time tonight. Standing back there to return this one is Jeffrey Hall. That one is booted deep. Spiraling kick. Hall's going to take it about the 28. Nearly slips on the turf, and he's met by a pack of Aggies. He's going to go down losing a couple. A good punt there from Rivers. And with that, that's where the Buccaneers will start their next drive. And we'll be back in just a moment. Back in a 0-0 ball game, and you see there the new man in town, Autry Denson, the Notre Dame all-time leading rusher and a 7th round draft pick in the NFL. The Buccaneers, Dolphins, Bears, and Colts. He's the 5th head coach in the history of Charleston Southern. You see him right there taking over. They're 0-2 to start this season, and the first play of this drive is met and blown up quickly by Trey Smalls in the backfield. Autry Denson coming in, taking over and installing this new offense, and we haven't really seen a lot of it so far. A short first drive, but a couple quick passes all early on to try to get Jack Chambers into a little bit of a rhythm. He's going to drop back. There's another one. Making that catch is Hall, and he's spun down after picking up, looks like about 4 or 5 yards.
Absolutely. That's what I look to see out of this offense. Nickel and dime the defense. Take what you can on the short patterns. And then when you have your chance, complete the long ball. Take advantage of the long ball. That's really what makes this offense so deadly, is when you do have those opportunities, you have to be able to connect. And I think Jack Chambers will be the quarterback that they look to accomplish that.
Play action pump, and he is crushed in the backfield. The left tackle, Davian McDaniel, he's having a hard time blocking the man coming towards him, and it looked like that one was Jermaine McDaniel again. Yep, and there he is, McDaniel just fighting through over there, and I think that was actually Bailey Ottaway in the game. That'll bring up a 4th down, and the Buccaneers are forced to punt for the 2nd time.
And that's one of the problems with transitioning from a triple option to an air raid. It's hard to get that pass blocking offensive line at first. They're going to struggle a little bit, but you got to take advantage of the quick hits.
Right with a high punt. That one drops right into the hands at about the 31-yard line. And calling for that fair catch was Corey Banks. As we'll get to see Khalil Carter for a 3rd time now. And this has been a Buccaneers defense. We mentioned at the top, one of the keys, they're going to have to play aggressive defense and get off the field on 3rd downs, and so far they've done just that.
Absolutely they have. They have been playing extremely aggressive, playing discipline, keeping an eye on their keys, stopping the pass game, getting the 3rd down stops, exactly what they need to do. Hopefully they can continue to keep it up on this drive. Their offense has not been able to get things going yet, but I look for them to keep pressing, and eventually things will fall into their favor.
Carter stands back, play action, looks to the left. He's pressured. He's going to try and step up in the pocket and tripped up at the shoelaces. Making that one was Anton Williams once again in the backfield.
That's a perfect example. Bringing the blitz right up the middle on first down. They are not holding anything back this game. They want to show that they can be dominant, even with an experienced defensive front. You got inexperienced and young secondary members, but you are led it by a strong, experienced linebacking core.
That one is handed off up the middle. First run of the night from Sean Baker. He's in there. There's really two main running backs tonight for North Carolina A&T. They lost Darius Graves last week to a knee injury. So it's going to be Baker and Jermaine Martin, and now here's another third down. The Buccaneers defense trying to get off the field once again. See there in motion, that's number 2, Corey Banks. Trips to the left, one wide receiver to the right. The shotgun drops back, looks right, and off the fingertips. That was Elijah Bell. He got some separation from his man, but couldn't reel it in on the sideline.
Absolutely, and you see here pre-snap, they're going to bring pressure down from the bottom. He's unaccounted for, so Khalil's forced to rush that pass. Can't get accurate enough to give Elijah Bell a good pass to converge on third down. And that's exactly what Charleston Southern's defense is going to have to keep doing. Bring in pressure unexpectedly, first down, and find clever ways to bring guys off the edge on third down. And I can't say enough that they've done an outstanding job so far.
And they have struggling on third downs tonight. There is the third punt, a high and deep one back at the 20 and getting met immediately. A big hit there, and that's one, if you're the coach, you're looking at Jeffrey Hall saying just put that hand up.
Absolutely, especially a very high, long hang time kick like this. You expect him to hit a fair catch.
Well, we're going to take a break, starting deep in their own territory for the next drive. Is going to
Mets, Sunday Night Baseball, tonight on ESPN.
This Big South Network broadcast is brought to you in part by Geico. Big South alumni could save even more with an alumni discount from Geico. Visit geico.com/Big South today. As Jack Chambers is going deep, looking for his man, and he's got him. What a catch. Coming down with that one is number 11, Cameron Brown.
And that's outstanding. That's how you take advantage of the deep ball. Doing just like that. Nickel and dime, hit the short pass, and when you get the deep ball, sit there, step up, and deliver a bomb.
Through the pressure, and a great job there bringing that one down was Brown. He was going up against Amir McNeil. Now quickly pulling at his Chambers. He finds the outside, and he trips down on the turf. We'll have to see what they give him. Looks like they're going to give him about 5 yards on that one. And trying to keep the tempo high after that big play.
Absolutely. You want to keep it high. Keep the defense off guard. They're tired. They just had to run down the field. Keep them going. Keep that tempo pressing. Snap the ball. Read option. Snap the ball again. Quick screen.
And quick screen out there, and Hall is met and wrestled out of bounds. Meeting them there was number 9, Anton Wilder. The Buccaneers into North Carolina A&T territory for the first time tonight. A couple changes, couple guys coming in and out. Checking in one of them, number 15, Kevon Scott. He's going to be the tight end standing right in front of the running back, Ronnie Harris. Pause, look over, and get the play call.
It seems like Jack Chambers starting to get a little bit more comfortable on this drive. His energy is a little bit higher. He's feeling more confident, running. Good throw on the move.
Great job there, reeling that one in, escaping the pressure. That was a big catch. Jaquan Williams there, the junior from Simpsonville. Reels it in and moving the chains once again, getting closer and closer to the red zone.
That's what you like to see out of your starting quarterback. Taking charge, making athletic plays, stepping up in the pocket, delivering, and then we got flags coming out.
Flags, we'll have to see where they give it. I saw a lot of movement on the offensive line, and it's going to be a false start on CSU moving back.
But like I was saying, Jack Chambers coming out with a newborn energy, it almost seems like, and he's got to keep it up throughout the remainder of this game to get sustainable drives out of this offense.
2:55 and counting left here in the first quarter. The Buccaneers trying to score the first points. First and 15 after the false start. Hall in motion, a fake pitch, now up the middle. Chambers, he's going to get back. It looks like 3, maybe 4 of those as he's close to the original line of scrimmage. And finally, a decent drive from either one of these two teams. As we've seen a couple of 3 and outs from Charleston Southern before this drive. Stand back up and look over the offense, just trying to get everything in tune. They're going to move the tight end Scott over to the left side now. Hall and Williams to the right, Brown to the left. Chambers going to drop back to pass, pressure coming, lobs it over to the left side. It is caught up the sidelines. Touchdown Buccaneers. Cameron Brown reels it in. First touchdown of the season for him, and CSU is on the board.
That's just a great play by quarterback to receiver, back shoulder pass. You see here in the replay, Jack Chambers sits there with the pressure coming, back shoulder. Cameron Brown does a great job adjusting to the ball, and he's able to walk into the end zone.
A great drive, all started by a deep ball on the first play, and it's capped off by another one. Cameron Brown reels it in, the senior from Graniteville, South Carolina. And he's out there. Snap kick, and it is up and through the uprights. 7-0. Charleston Southern up to an early lead on the 17th North Carolina A&T Aggies. One more look, standing in and facing the pressure. A great catch there by Brown and kick to the side.
Absolutely. That all stemmed from quarterback Jack Chambers' energy. Starting on the first play, came out, completed the long ball, got a read option, gained some yards. Even though they had a flag, he was able to come back and put together a couple more good plays to get them into the end zone.
Great scoring drive there from the Buccaneers as they look to try and pick up their first victory. Right there, 33 yards officially from Jack Chambers to Cameron Brown for the first score of the night. As we'll get to see the place kicker Nathaniel Toolback out there for the second time this evening. The two standing back there. It's Timon Cook standing to the right, and over on the left side, Corey Banks. Finally have some points on the board. Here comes Toole. He puts his right foot through it. A deep kick. Fielded that one right at the goal line is Banks, and he's going to take it. Take it out. He evades some pressure. He's got some space. One man, and finally spun down as Toole just kind of got in the way.
Looks like we do have a flag on the play, though, and it could potentially be coming back.
We do. The flag standing right at about the 32-yard line. There's a look at this return, and there might be a hold. You see right there, number 45 sticking his hands up in the air. They'll usually get you for that one.
Absolutely. If you look like you didn't do it, chances are you did it.
That will indeed move him back, blocked in the back. And that erases a big kickoff return from number 2, Corey Banks. Denson, head coach. Now again, this CSU defense, they've looked very good so far, and they're going to have this Aggies team backed all the way up their own 22 to start this drive. They're going to go from the I formation. Martin in the backfield. He's going to turn, hand it off to him, and met quickly in the backfield, breaking a couple of tackles and finally being brought down. A couple of Buccaneers slowed him up before he was able to get finished off.
That's aggressive play by the defense. They are just being more physical than this North Carolina A&T offense. You see them just breaking through the line of scrimmage, stopping the run. They're in an I formation, double tight end set. They should be able to pick up some positive yardage there, but this Charleston Southern defense is just out physically playing this North Carolina A&T offensive line.
Anton Williams in there for a tackle again. He's been all over the place here in this first quarter. From the shotgun, handing off and tripping up. That's the running back, Baker. And Take a look and see what that was. It looked like he might have tripped over Carter's feet.
Yeah, it looks like he just couldn't get his footing right. He accidentally fell. Unfortunately, if this was NFL, he was able to get back up, but this isn't. He's marked down right there. We're going to look for quarterback Khalil Carter, go to the air on 3rd and long here, and this could potentially be another 3 and out for this North Carolina A&T offense.
Trips to the left, one wide receiver to the right. Carter takes the snap. Stands up, steps up in the pocket. He's going to look to run with it and being chased down and ripped down once again. Anton Wilder. He is all over the place.
Man, he's really playing a heck of a game tonight. Stopping the run, sacking the quarterback, getting a good pass rush in, and that's exactly what he's going to have to do tonight. And you see there, just effort. Go upfield and then chase the play that's at the quarterback as he's trying to make a run for it. That's a great defensive play.
6th tackle already for Wilder, and he's been making plays. And he's been disrupting this offense for the Aggies, so it'll be another punt for Michael Rivers. As we're now going to have a whistle. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Charleston Southern looks like everything on time so far. They lead 7-0 over the 17th ranked team in the land. 7-0 Charleston Southern as they lead the North Carolina A&T Aggies. As we head to the second quarter, the difference maker so far, a 33-yard touchdown pass from Jack Chambers to Cameron Brown. As we're going to see out there punting once again, getting a little bit of pressure and running into the punter. There's going to be a flag on the play as the ball bounces out of bounds. It was a 4th and 8. We'll have to see what they call this. The Bucs tried to show pressure and get back there and block it, but ran right into the punter for the Aggies, Michael Rivers.
Running in the kicker. 17. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So very lucky for the Bucs there. Just the 5 yards for the running into the kicker. We'll have to see if they're going to re-kick it or just take it where it went out of bounds. He's talking it over there on the sidelines. Looking over the first quarter, really dominated by Charleston Southern, really just dominated by one drive, as it looks like they're going to elect to go and re-kick it. As going back out there is Jeffrey Hall, standing at the 30-yard line, but one drive, and that's really all it took for CSU to get out in front.
Absolutely. I mean, one drive that was well executed. They had a little hiccup, but quarterback Jack Chambers was able to get over that, establish a good rhythm with that offense. It seems like everybody had a high sense of urgency about themselves, able to put drives together, or link plays together, accumulate yardage, and capped it off with a 33-yard touchdown pass. But, I mean, his numbers, 7 for 8 for 99 yards and a touchdown. That's not too bad for a quarter. I mean, and I look for him to only build upon that as this game gets better.
Extremely efficient. So they're finally going to get things sorted out. 5 yards going to be added to the dead ball spot. So the offense for the Buccaneers should be coming out. We'll be waiting on everybody, still trying to figure out what's going on. As there we go, finally coming out, the Aggie defense. And Andre Denson and company down talking to the offense as they head on out for another drive. Jack Chambers and company going to try and link together another big scoring drive. They're outgaining North Carolina A&T 111 to just 42 in that first quarter. The offense has been on schedule. Officials still meeting over the ball, standing right at the 35-yard line. And Sam Washington over there trying to figure out the spotting the ball. It should be 5 yards back, so it would be 1st and 15, you'd imagine.
Absolutely. It looks like they're making this a tad bit more complicated. They're just trying to get everybody on the same page, make sure everybody know and is aware of what's going on.
This officiating group led by the referee Jeffrey Page and kind of Walter Sloan. Down there, everybody trying to get on the same page and figure it all out. We might be getting a little bit closer to finally playing some more football. Ball is down 35. It's going to be first down and 10 for the Buccaneers, and finally some football again. Chambers man in motion. That's Hall. He's going to hand it off. No, keep it himself. Makes a move, and he's going to go down. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Nice little run on first down.
Absolutely, and that was just a variation of the triple option. You see him kind of pull the ball up like he was going to flip it out to his wide receiver in motion there. And I like that little twist to it. You bring him in motion, make him go a little bit wider out of pitch phase, and whip it out to him, draw everybody in at last minute so he has an open lane to run through and green grass ahead of him.
And then out to the left, that's Cameron Brown, the touchdown receptor. Is back. They're going to go quickly out to him. It's going to be one-on-one, and he's going to break a tackle, pick up a first down, and a few more. He just ran right through Jabari Butler, who tried to step up and make a play.
That was a good physical play by Cameron Brown there. You see him just quick screen there, get it, lower his shoulder through the defender, make a miss, and gain some extra yardage.
And just give it to your athlete and let him do his work. So first down, approaching midfield now. Chambers drops back, a little bit of pressure. He's going to sling it over to the left, and it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Quivon Scott.
You know, as he threw the ball, I kind of winced a little bit because I thought he left it behind him, and that's easy call for a pick six there. That's going to the house, but it looks like he got it down in front of him. Unfortunately, it's incomplete.
And we've seen over there on the left side, Bailey Ottaway's in the game. Davian McDaniel, we haven't seen him most of the night. Now they're going to get some help. Rolling out to the right and reeling that one in, tiptoeing the sideline. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. That's Jaquan Williams.
And again, nice little quick, simple pass play. Give his instill some confidence in the quarterback. Get him going. Get his energy up. And then eventually you're going to see for him to take a shot here once they cross midfield.
Third down and 6. They're just past the 48 of North Carolina A&T. 5 wide receivers. And Chambers going to look over to the sideline quickly. Now Williams and Hall to his right. Hall in the slot. Chambers drops back. The blitz coming. He's just going to heave it downfield. He's got his man and reeling it in. What a catch. Nice play made by Jaquan Williams, and Jack Chambers just threw that one up there and hoped it would land in his guy's hands. Into the red zone now with the Buccaneers for the second time tonight. Getting quickly up to the line. The defense trying to get set up for the Aggies.
And again, perfect example of taking advantage of the deep ball. He had pressure right into his face, but he's able to stay composed and get the ball out of his hands. Granted, it wasn't accurate, but he gave his guy a chance to make a play on the ball, and that's all you can ask for in that situation.
And quick screen back to Williams, getting the ball to him and trying to go quickly. Is this Buccaneer offense? They're bringing out another man, number 12, Trevay Hatton, the backup tight end. There you go, trips to the left. Ball is the closest man to Chambers from the pistol. He's going to turn, hand it off, up the middle, breaking a tackle, fighting towards the end zone, right down to the goal line, and he's finally going to be met and ripped away. That was Terrence Wilson, who just checked into the ball game. They're going to give him the first down, and he's going to be right up at about the 1-yard line. Trying to go quickly once again, looking like the same formation, trips out to the left. Right up on the goal line, the Aggies defense with a shadow of the goalpost right on them. Right under center, Chambers pushing the pile. They're signaling touchdown to the Buccaneers, and he is in. Touchdown, Charleston Southern.
Man, what a drive that was.
13-0.
Yeah, and that's a great, well-executed drive there by quarterback Chambers. Linking together some quick pass plays, get the run play, and then you take advantage of the deep shot when you have the opportunity.
Chambers 11 of 13 through the air, and he sneaks that one in. His first rushing touchdown of the night, second on the season. As here's the place kicker, Ussery back. He gets it up and through the goalposts. It's 14-0. Charleston Southern, their lead in the 17th team in the nation. North Carolina A&T. We'll be right back.
Reimagine.
North Carolina A&T Aggies. You see there the upcoming games with a record of 1-1 so far. Delaware State next week. A little bit of a road swing at Norfolk State, at Florida A&M. Howard having out the next 4 games for them. They're going to try and see if they can work their way back into this game, trailing 14-0 early on here, 11:50 left in the first half. Jack Chambers has been nothing short of fantastic so far. 11 of 13 through the air with a touchdown, and then he just tacked on one more rushing touchdown himself on the QB sneak. Here's Nathaniel Toole. We'll see him for the 3rd time. And he boots that one deep. Fielding that one at about the 3-4 yard line is going to be Corey Banks, and he's going to take it back. And he's going to be met at about the 26 yard line. Good kick coverage from the Bucks.
Yeah, this Charleston Southern's kickoff team has got to do a great job on covering their lanes, because the minute they let one open, Corey Banks is going to take one to the house. He's got some speed on him.
I've already seen he had a big one that was erased on a block in the back on his last return. Banks, a South Carolina transfer, came in tonight with 5 receptions. Was good for 2nd on this Aggie team. Single back. Carter back out there. He's going to hand it off to his man. That's Martin, who slips in the turf, and he's met in the backfield quickly. And that is something we've said a lot early on here in this game. This Buccaneers defensive front getting to the backfield.
Absolutely, and this North Carolina A&T offense has not been playing very well. They've been a little sporadic, bad snap, can't get the pass protection they need to give quarterback Khalil Carter enough time to go through his progressions. See the running back try to bounce it out outside of his blocker and slips a little bit and falls to the turf. They just need to get composed, get back to their self. I feel like they're not playing like they usually like to play.
Big hit there is being met is Corey Banks. He tried to take it around there. That was a big hit by Darren Smalls. The DB stepping up. Redshirt senior stands at 5'11", 185, and try to lower the boom right there.
And that's just being physical. And Charleston Southern's always been a physical team. Even back when I played them in the playoffs and during the regular season, they were one of the most physical teams we played all season long. And I hated going up against those guys because I knew I was going to leave that game feeling like I just got out of a bar fight.
3rd down and 5, and now there's a big-time truck. That one from Jermaine Martin is the Aggies finally convert on 3rd down. They're now 1 for 5. And now they're going to get the sticks moving, try to get a little bit of an offensive drive going. A big reception out of the backfield by Martin, but running through his man and a little quickly. Carter takes it. He's going to hand it off to Martin. Martin tripped up in the backfield. That's Chandre Mims.
Man, that was quick. He got back there just as soon as he handed it off and made the stop. This defensive line is playing their hearts out tonight. You see them shoot the gap, make the tackle, loss of yardage, and that's the physicality that Charleston Southern can bring to a game and disrupt your entire offense.
Mims had a great week last week, a season high 4 tackles up at USC. And now it's 2nd at about 12. Dropping back, play action, looking deep, standing in the pocket, going deep, looking for his man. It's batted away. He was looking for number 13, Elijah Bell, but a great play made defensively. That's Evan Cruz. Cruz looked like he got beat off of the line, but stuck with him and was able to bat the ball away.
You see it here, Carter's just staring down the receiver. He wants to go there the whole time. Safety started drifting to the play. Fortunately, defensive back was able to make the play, but he's got to do better with his eyes. Got to look off the safeties to open it, make that opening a little bit bigger for his receiver to make a play on the ball.
3rd and long. Carter drops back to pass, looking to the right at the sticks, off of the hand. Zachary Leslie can't reel that one in, and it'll force another punt. This CSU defense, they've been hot so far.
Absolutely, they've been getting after the ball. See ball, get ball is what they're going by.
This will be the 5th punt of the night for Michael Rivers. That was about 41 yards per punt, as going back out there once again is Jeffrey Hall. So on their side of the 50 are the Aggies. Last time CSU went after him. Going to send a couple guys, but not as big of a block chance as last time, and that one's going to bounce out of bounds. And Charleston Southern, they're going to take over at about the 21-yard line. It's 14-0 CSU. Got some big games coming up for the Buccaneers as they're in search of their first win tonight. But look, next week, a familiar name for you, my friend, up here in the booth.
Absolutely. Getting some early scouting done for our guys next week. I feel like I almost shouldn't be here a little bit. But nah, it's all smiles up here in the booth, having a great time.
Glad to have you up here. Former quarterback for the Citadel. A triple option over there. A little bit of a different look from the Buccaneers this season. As we'll see Jack Chambers back out there. He's had a good night so far. That might be putting it lightly as he's going to start in the shotgun. Quick little screen out to the left side. Catching that one is Jeffrey Hall. He fights forward for about 5 or 6 yards.
It looks like we got another flag on the play here. Could potentially be holding.
Holding. Left the offense. Penalty. Repeats first.
Well, holding penalty on the left of the offense, and that usually signals it wasn't just one guy; it was everybody. As we took a look at the penalty here.
That's tough, to start your drive with a 10-yard penalty, and then now you got to play from behind. That's really hard, especially in your own territory. North Carolina's A&T defense can get really aggressive here and send some pressure to kind of drive them further back, and you see them do it there.
And they do, meeting him in the backfield. That was number 41, Trey Smalls. We've called his name a few times and setting the sticks even further back, as now the Bucs are going to be stuck inside their own 10-yard line. 2nd down and 22. Not very many 2nd and 22 play calls in the old play sheet.
Yeah, that playlist is very thin. You look to get something simple, a quick hit pass, maybe even an inside run just to pick up some yardage, and maybe 3rd down, take your shot. It's interesting what head coach, Coach Autry is going to call here.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Chambers going to be a QB draw. He's going to try and sneak up the middle. He's going to be spun down. He's able to pick up 3, maybe 4 yards on that one. And that was a big play made. Like number 48, Stephen Davis Jr.
3rd down and 19.
So 3rd and 19. We'll have to expect to see something similar to what we just saw from Chambers. A little bit of a draw play, maybe a quick screen.
Absolutely, and they're looking to bring pressure off the edge with number 24, Amir McNeil. At this point, you just want to give your punt some room to make a good punt. You don't want to have him punting completely out of his own end zone.
He's going deep. He's got his man off the fingertips. Cameron Brown beat through the secondary. He ran by Jabari Butler, but the pass was just out of reach.
Man, and they took their shot, and it was a good shot. Unfortunately, it was just too far. Here we have the replay. You see Jack Chambers step up in the pocket, just looking like he's natural back there. Just a tad bit too far, but I do like the play call.
just off the hands, and that was a sure touchdown for Cameron Brown. If he could have reeled that one in, it would have been his second of the night. Now the Aggies looking like they're going to bring pressure on this punt, and they back out of it. A high punt, calling for a fair catch at about the 43-yard line is Corey Banks, and that's where the Aggies will start their next drive. They're down 14-0.
Because Paradise is a football town.
Marriott is the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. For the best rates, book directly with Marriott by heading to BigSouthSports.com/Marriott. They will support a Big South student athletes in the process. That's BigSouthSports.com/Marriott. And wheeling that one out to the right side, and Jermaine Martin, and he's not able to get back to the line of scrimmage. We do have some laundry out on the field, though. As you see, there's Jermaine Martin, big number 30. As the officials talking about it, some of the Buccaneers pointing back towards the A&T side, and a few of those Aggies players.
Personal foul, face mask, number 10. 15 yards, added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
Well, they're pointing in the wrong direction, the Bucs defense. Face mask on CSU, and that'll move the sticks inadvertently, and it'll put the Aggies into CSU territory.
You know, I think this is the closest they've came to midfield all night long so far.
Previous spot was automatic first down.
Something around, trying to check and see, but either way, a long walk forward into CSU territory. Is this Aggies team going to try and get themselves on the board? 7-11 left in the first half. They trail by 14. Two wide receivers to the left, one to the right. He's going to turn, hand it off to Martin, who's got a big hole on the right side. Leading the way is the big fullback up the sidelines. One more man to beat, and he goes down inside the 15. A big-time run for Jermaine Martin, and you saw big number 46, William Simpson, leading the way.
Absolutely, and that's a great job by the fullback. Keep him moving, making blocks, sealing off the edge, and open the room up for Martin down the sideline. Just being a really big playmaker tonight for this North Carolina A&T offense. He's the only thing they have going so far. Unfortunately, he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage there. But I look to see more from him here in the future.
Martin trying to go right back to him. He bounced it right up in the middle, but into a group of Buccaneers, and that'll make it second down, about 12 at the 14-yard line. First trip to the red zone tonight. 5 of 6 so far this season, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Carter working from the shotgun. Got Martin to his right. Play action, look in the end zone to the backside, off the hands of his receiver. As that was Elijah Bell. They were trying to get to him, but good defense by the secondary of the Bucs.
And that was a really good play call, drawing up play fake to Jermaine Martin. And he's got to come down with that. He's got 2 hands on the ball. As a quarterback, I want him to come down with that. If you have to jump, leap, dive, do whatever you can to bring that in and get us your first points on the board. Right now, you're 3rd and 12, playing behind. You're in the red zone. Hopefully you can get a field goal out of this. But that touchdown really, really closing up the ball game.
3rd down and 12. Carter drops back to pass, lob one to the corner of the end zone, going up, in and out of the hands. Another good play by the secondary. Evan Cruz there to bat it out. That'll bring up 4th down, and it'll bring out the field goal unit. Just trying to get this one to the corner of the end zone, Dom.
Absolutely, they did, but there was no kind of leverage. He out-jumped him, but he's got to extend his hands to make a play on the ball. Holding his hands tight to his body, allow the defender to stick his hands up and make a play and swat the ball out. If he extends his hands over the defender, he easily will be able to bring that in for a touchdown.
Here's Noel Ramirez. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. The Aggies are on the scoreboard. It took them a little while. 5:56 left in this first half. They've finally gotten the goose egg off the scoreboard. 14-3 in a drive that was really helped by penalties on that one, but a good defensive stop down in the red zone by CSU.
Absolutely, and again, you see them do the same thing, third down stop, exactly, key to the game, a key focal point for this defense. But this wide receiver group, as talented as they are, they have been off their game tonight, dropping the pass in the end zone, dropping the pass on the sideline on third downs. They have got to step their game up if they want to come back and have a chance at winning this ball game.
Yeah, those wide receivers, Elijah Bell, Zachary Leslie, Corey Banks. That's just 3 of them. The other one that is out tonight, Ron Hunt. He injured his hamstring last week against Duke, but we're talking about 3 guys. Elijah Bell, he's a man, he's looking to become North Carolina A&T's all-time leader in just about everything. He broke the touchdown record last week. Coming into the night, he needed 15 receptions and 32 yards to break the receptions and total yards record, but this defense has done a great job shutting them down.
No doubt, no doubt.
So back to kick. First time we've seen tonight, Noel Ruiz. He knocks that one back, fielding it. That's going to be taken about the 1-yard line by the backup quarterback and being ripped down. That man is Christian Reed. He's listed as the 3rd-string quarterback, but he does a little bit of everything. Plays quarterback, returns kicks and punts, and we saw him there. Just couldn't get any room.
And I like it. Coach has got an athlete, and he's going to use the athlete. He may not have his chance at quarterback just quite yet, but he's going to put him to use on special teams, and I think that's a really good thing players need to be aware of, is you may not have the opportunity to start now, but you can still put your skills to use.
This Buccaneer offense back out. Working for it, Jack Chambers. He's going to take it, pitch over to the left side. The ball bounces on the turf, and reaching down to scoop that one up was Ronnie Harris. A dangerous play deep in your own territory.
Absolutely. You do not want the ball on the ground on your own 20. They had a good play designed up. Perimeter blocking was locked up. Unfortunately, it was just a bad pitch.
And officials are going to come in. Quick conversation. Looks like they're having a look over at the clock right now. Trying to get everything all sorted out in a 14-3 ball game.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass. Please reset the game clock in 5 minutes. 46 seconds. Thank you.
So that's what it was, an incomplete pass. I don't really know about that one.
That's close. It was a tad bit forward, but luckily they came away, so now it's 2nd and 10.
The Bucs won't mind. Flag looks like a free play, going deep, looking for his man, going up and getting fought around. There's another flag. As going up for that one was Jaquan Williams. He got tackled by, it looked like, 2 players. We got a couple of hankies down. It looks like one's going to be offsides. See, there's the offsides, and then the deep bomb by Chambers.
Offside. Stevens. Number 94. That penalty is declined. Pass interference. Number 24. 15 yards. Previous spot. Automatic reset.
So the pass interference is going to go on Amir McNeil, the sophomore from Laurinburg, North Carolina. And that's a tough play. And you look down at him right now. He's playing with a cast on his left hand. He's got some hurt fingers. And talking to Coach Sam Washington in his weekly presser earlier this week, he said you don't really need fingers to play football. As that one is handed off right up the middle to Ronnie Harris, as he's going to chug forward for a gain of about 2. As now we've got an Aggie down on the field. That looks like number 23, Alex Fumba. Fumba is down. The training staff coming to have a look at him. I don't want to see somebody go down, but talking about McNeil and what his coach Sam Washington said earlier in the week. He's got that cast on his left hand. He was playing earlier in warm-ups, as we see here. There's number 23 right in the center of the screen. That's Fumba as they want to have a look at him. He immediately went down to a knee. They tend to him, but McNeil, he's came out at the start of the night with a club on his hand, which is difficult enough if you think about I have to play corner and bat footballs away, as Fumba's now up on his feet and he's going to be walking off under his own power. But the club's now gone if we look down there. Fumba jogging off. So now just a yellow cast covering up a couple of those fingers. I know you were a quarterback, but coach coming out saying you don't need your fingers to play football. I mean, you would think as a corner you might want your fingers hold on to that football when it's coming towards you.
No doubt, no. Especially if you're looking to increase your interception numbers, you definitely need your hands. But he's out there giving all the effort he can, and I love it. And he's playing a physical ball game so far tonight.
Back out there going deep, and that one, miscommunication between the quarterback, Jack Chambers, and Jaquan Williams, as Williams looked to play the comeback, and Chambers thought he was going to keep on running.
Yeah, and he definitely had a chance, but it looks like his receiver cut his right off, and there was just a tad at miscommunication. So now we're looking at about 3rd and 8, and we're going to see Jack Chambers with the ball in his hands again, looking to one of his receivers, hopefully for a quick hitter and get the ball out of his hands.
3rd and long, 5:18 left in the first half. As Chambers is back there, CSU 2 for 5 so far on 3rd downs tonight. Chambers drops back to pass. Facing the pressure to the left side and overthrows it just a little bit. He was looking for Cameron Brown at the sideline, but couldn't get it to him.
Yeah, and he knows, and he wants that one back. He had him wide open there. His well-timed ball, just a little bit too much gas on it, leading his receiver into the out of bounds of the sideline of North Carolina A&T. And that would have been an excellent play to convert on 3rd down.
Here comes Kyle Reichert out for another punt. 2 for 6 now on 3rd downs for CSU. Standing back at about the 22-yard line is Banks. He's going to take a couple steps back. Good punt by Reichert. Fields at about the 15, makes a move, cutting towards the left side and being spun down and met by a group of Buccaneers. A great job on special teams by CSU, pinning them deep. So one of the guys down there on that one, number 49, the long snapper, Ethan Ray, 2nd team All-Big South member last season. Junior from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. You see this A&T offense, they're going to need to try and put together a drive and get themselves a little bit closer, you'd hope, before halftime. You've got 5 minutes left.
There should be plenty of time to get a drive, go down and score, and then for Charleston Southern to come back and establish another drive. Hopefully they can take some time off the clock here, though.
Carter rolling out to his right. He finds his man in one-on-one coverage and trapped down by the ankles. That was Zachary Leslie reeling that one in. And a good gain and moving the sticks on 1st down. Broke the 100-yard mark finally for North Carolina A&T. They've been stymied all night long. Big fullback William Simpson in motion to the right side. They're going to hand it off to Jermaine Martin. He's waiting, patiently looking for a hole that never really opened up. He's able to fight forward for a gain of about 2.
And I like that about him. He's patient. He's not in a too big of a rush to bounce it outside and try to make it happen, which turns out end up loss of large more often than not. But instead, rather patient and look for the openings inside behind his big offensive line. If there isn't one, he's just going to get behind one of those big guys and ride it out.
Quick screen out to the right side, right up the sideline. There's number 13, Elijah Bell, reeling in another one. Having a good night so far. 57 rushing yards. Just a tick over 5.5. So it'll be 3rd and 5 This is a big moment for this CSU defense. They've done a good job so far. 1 for 7 is this North Carolina A&T offense. Trips to the left side. Carter going to drop back. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to be met. He's short of the line to gain. That was J.D. Sosby wrapping him up.
Short of the line to gain. 4th down.
Big number 5 going and meeting the 5'10", 229 Khalil Carter. Those are two big dudes. You got Sosby at 6 foot 215, Carter 5'10", 229.
You know, I would have liked to see him just stay in the pocket a tad bit longer. Step up, set up, get his feet under him, and deliver a ball. He had 2 wide receivers down to the bottom of your screen open, but instead he was quick to try to make a run for it, and unfortunately he was able to convert.
Another punt spiraling towards the sideline. Fielding that one, nearly dropping it, was Hall as he spun down and a little slow to get up, and now he drops down to the turf. He's favoring that right leg. He's going to get some help from his teammates, and that could be a big loss for the CSU offense if Jeffrey Hall is dinged up.
Absolutely, especially with him accounting for 10 receptions, 99 yards so far this year. That could be a very big loss for the Charleston Southern Buccaneers.
Got pulled down. He fell down earlier. It looked like he might have rolled his ankle up on the turf when he fielded the ball, but then once the defense got there to meet him, he kind of pulled that right leg of his. He's still slowly making his way to the sidelines. They're going to go and check him out. We'll have to see who they bring in for him. One guy to look for might be Caleb Chapman. He's going over in motion. That's going to be number 2, Ronnie Harris. They're going to sling it out to him. Harris gets it one-on-one. Makes one guy miss up the sidelines. He steps out of bounds. Looks like about the 27-yard line. Not a bad pickup on first down.
Absolutely not. And as a former high school teammate of Ronnie Harris, I like to see him doing well out here tonight. It's exciting for me to be up here tonight in the booth watching him. And there you go, see him. Great catch, make a man miss. He's always been a physical and tough player, and you see it again here, not going down easily. Unfortunately, a gain only about 1 or 2.
Yeah, great job there by the Aggie front 7 meeting him as the clock continues to tick down. 2 minutes left here in this first half. It's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and 4. Chambers will be the shotgun. 2 to his left, 2 to his right.
You see that North Carolina A&T defense, linebackers line up really tight to the line of scrimmage, looking like they're going to bring pressure. Quarterback Chambers gets an adjustment for his coach, makes an audible.
130, Chambers drops back. The pressure stands in there, delivers it over the middle, making the catch and being spun down. Oh, it's like number 88, Isaac Ross, who just checked into the game. Got that one right over the middle, but couldn't get to the sticks.
Absolutely. That's really good man coverage by that Aggie defense. Playing tight coverage, not letting anything get behind them, and not letting the drag routes confuse them. That's usually the main thing that is your go-to on 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, the crossing routes, the drag routes, the spring receivers free across the middle as they go from one side of the field to the other. Usually they get lost in the defense. But on that man coverage there, that was solid. Everybody was man-to-man, hip-to-hip, not allowing anything to get by.
A&T calls their first time out with 1:15 left, trying to get themselves a chance to get a few more points on the board before we head to the break. Charleston Southern coming out here. They had a tough loss last week at South Carolina, 72-10 against the SEC team. And now here they're coming right back against a ranked FCS opponent in the Aggies, and they've really controlled this game right from the get-go.
Absolutely. They've come out strong on defense, physical, and been able to string a couple drives together and put points on the board on offense. Quarterback Jack Chambers looks strong, comfortable. He's delivered some really good balls. The run game has looked physical, although limited in yardage. They have been doing enough to open up the pass game for him.
Yeah, Chambers 13 for 19 so far tonight, 160 yards and a touchdown. He's also racked up 14 yards and a rushing TD to go along with it. So back out there, punter Kyle Reichert. He waits back at his 15-yard line, and he puts that right foot into it. A high kick, calling for a fair catch, and making it at about the 29-yard line. And that's where this drive will start for North Carolina A&T. 1:07 left, so it's going to be that 2-minute drill.
And North Carolina A&T has struggled quite a bit in the pass game this evening, getting tons of pressure from that Buccaneer defense, and they have not been able to hold up well against it. I look for quarterback Khalil Carter to be more, physical, stand in the pocket more, just be relaxed, be composed. He's done this multiple times, and I'd like to see him be composed and deliver balls.
That one tipped up in the air, nearly intercepted. Getting a finger to that one was the defensive end. That looked like Anton Wilder, as J.D. Sosby nearly jumped up and intercepted it. Now 5 for 12, and there it is. Wilder's just been everywhere, and he's coming off the edge, looking for the pressure, read the screen pass, and got that big paw up in the air.
Absolutely, and as an offensive lineman, you got to get his hands down to open up the throwing lane for your quarterback.
There's a big run up the middle for Jermaine Martin, and he's down past midfield. They're going to mark him down at the 49, a big run for him. Tacks on to already 55 yards tonight for him. Clock continues to run. From the shotgun, 45 seconds left. Carter hands it off to Martin again, and he's spun down. That was a heavy tackle, was being ripped down right around the neck. No penalty, though, as we're going to have another timeout called by A&T, stopping the clock with 37 seconds.
You know, that's an interesting choice of play. A play there. You rip off the big run. You look to go back to the air again to get some positive yardage and possibly clock stoppage if you catch the ball out of bounds. But here we see some highlights of plays this evening.
And you see just the CSU defense swarming all night long, and a lot of the plays we are seeing number big 31, Anton Wilder, just he's been all over the place, just doing just about everything. Anton Williams, just making plays for CSU. There's another one where he ripped down Carter from behind. Just play after play, this big defensive line causing all sorts of havoc in the backfield.
Absolutely. Antoine Williams has been playing with tremendous effort, leading this defensive unit on the field. Another big pass breakup. This defensive unit has been getting after the football. They have been taught this week to see ball, get ball, and not let anything bother them.
Beautiful sunset, but we're more focused on everything on the turf. Carter to the left side, and there's a good completion right at the sidelines. Reeling that one in was Elijah Bell. Good job by him. That's his third reception on the night. More importantly for A&T, he was able to get out of bounds, stop the clock, and save that last time out. So they're trying to get into field goal range. Coming in motion is Banks over to the right side. Carter going to drop back, a little bit of a pump fake, steps up, and he's going to be knocked down by the shoelaces. J.D. Sosby there to rip him down.
And again, pressured by that Buccaneer defense. You see it come right up the middle, right through the center. Then J.D. Sosby follows it up, making the sack. Quarterback Khalil Carter has nowhere to go with the football.
It's been a rough night for Carter as the third and final timeout is used with 23 seconds for the Aggies. Not much that he's been able to do, and this is the front. Something that we're talking about pregame is that these linebackers were probably going to be the big strong point of this defense for CSU, a very young, very inexperienced defense. They certainly haven't played like it tonight.
Absolutely. They have been all over the place playing with a high amount of effort and intensity, and that's what you like to see out of a young or inexperienced defense. If you not are going to have the experience to know all the technical skills and whatnot, but you are able to bring effort and intensity, and that's what they've done tonight.
Second 11 for the Aggies, 23 seconds. Dropping back to pass, looking over to the right side, reeling that one in, stretching for the marker. That's Zachary Leslie reeling that one in. They're going to move the chain. 17 seconds left. Here's another look at that throw by Carter. Clock did stop as Leslie got out of bounds. Nearing the red zone, ball at the 26. Banks in motion to the left. Carter going to drop back. Looking deep, going for the end zone, but couldn't find his man. Is trying to fight his way through as Quinzel Lockhart. He just couldn't make his way through the defense.
That's a dangerous throw, too, by quarterback Carter. You have the safety, number 6, Gerard Stanley, sitting over the top of that route. Cornerback Gerard Stanley sitting over the top of that route as he's trying to fight through underneath coverage. That could have easily been picked off if he would have left that in bounds.
13 seconds left in the first half. The Aggies trying to get a few more points before we head to the break. Carter drops back, play action. Looking left again, heaves it towards the end zone. Looking for Leslie, goes up with it. He comes down, but out of bounds. Good job there, using the boundary by the CSU defense.
Absolutely, but that's what you like to see at the receiver standpoint. Go up, extend your arms, make a play on the ball, and next time find a way to get your feet down. You see Carter deliver a ball high to the outside, and Leslie goes up and extends his arms. Unlike last time where he kept his arms down, allowing the defensive player to make a play on the ball.
Should be third down. Out of 10 seconds, trying to figure out what they want to do. They're going to send the field goal unit out. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Snap is down, hold, kick is up. And it is good. Got it off at the final moment, and that will take us to halftime. CSU with a 14-6 lead over the number 17 North Carolina A&T Aggies. So that'll do it for the first half. We're going to head to halftime. 14-6 CSU.
This Big South game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. We have equipment for that. And Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference. And Geico. Big South alumni could save even more with an alumni discount from Geico. Visit geico.com/Big South today.
It's time for the Geico halftime report, and 14-6, Charleston Southern leading the 17th ranked North Carolina A&T Aggies. And during the break, we'll send it. We've got the punter, senior from Salem, Virginia, Kyler Reichert. He was mic'd up in practice a little bit earlier. Let's see what he had to say.
Gone through what this town has. Why does a game still matter? Because Paradise is a football town.
Back in the Geico halftime report, 14-6, Charleston Southern up on the 17th ranked North Carolina A&T Aggies. And we'll take a look at some of the highlights and stats. It was a big first half for CSU, and a big one mainly defensively. This was one of the few big plays for A&T Jermaine Martin running the ball well.
Absolutely. He's been running the ball very physically, finding open holes within the inside of that Charleston Southern defense, which there hasn't been many. But you see here quarterback Chambers stepping up in the pocket, delivering a really good ball downfield. And then another one down for a touchdown, back shoulder fade route. Cameron Brown walks into the end zone.
Yeah, just a great job overall. And so far tonight, it's been a good one for this CSU offense, going up against one of the best, traditionally one of the best defenses in all of FCS. And they've been able to hold this offense down for A&T. There's another big plow through for Jermaine Martin. But these highlights, CSU's just kind of controlled things really from the get-go.
Absolutely. They've established their dominance on defense, and then kind of established the tempo that they want to play by on offense, mixing it up between fast and low pace, big plays, short routes here, inside runs.
And there are the first half stats. One of the big numbers we talked about at the top of the game. 3rd downs for the CSU defense, and they've been getting off the field. Just 1 of 8 is North Carolina A&T.
Absolutely, and that was one of the key focal points they needed to really hone in on tonight to have a really good shot at winning this ball game. You see Charleston Southern leading 186 in total yards. Majority of that coming from 160 pass yards from quarterback Chambers on 13 of 19 for 68% completions. That's really good so far in the first half.
Yeah, and he's been very solid and really distributing the ball around. And we'll take a look at some of the games going on tonight around the conference. The Big South had some big games tonight. And looking around all over the place, you see there Delaware State, a couple more going all over, and put those games up for you. But the Big South has traditionally been a decent conference, and the CSU team, they're looking to try and build some momentum heading into this conference slate.
Absolutely. They've done a really good job tonight. By making a statement, they can be physical and very competitive within this conference, and very holding North Carolina's A&T high-powered offense down to minimal production tonight.
Today, some of the games going on around the area. Howard and Hampton, 2 of them going down. Kennesaw State and Alabama State. And there's the standings right there. You see top to bottom. Lots of 1s, a couple of 0s, a couple of 2s, but Charleston Southern trying to put a 1 in the win column tonight. See a big game coming up, though. You got Kennesaw State. That's a team, 7th-ranked team in the country right now. CSU certainly looking forward to that one. They got that one circled on the calendar.
Absolutely, and Kennesaw State has done a great job with their program. Recently starting their football program within the last few years, establishing themselves as one of the primary teams within the Big South and the playoff team competitively year in, year out with that triple option offense under head coach Buchanan, excuse me.
Yeah, I got coming up October 12th at Kennesaw State. So that big one is coming up for CSU. As we're going to go back to break as the halftime show continues. About 5 minutes left. Back. Welcome back into the Geico Halftime Report. My name is Killian McClatchy, and next to me, Tom Allen. And we got a few moments before kickoff for the second half, and we're just going to continue talking about the first half for both of these teams, mainly for CSU. Starting quarterback Jack Chambers, 13 of 19, 160 yards, 1 passing TD, 1 rushing TD. You said right at the top of the broadcast he was going to have a big game. He certainly has so far.
He definitely has, and he's been extremely efficient, really productive, both in the run and pass game, completing the short balls and taking advantage of the deep balls.
They're looking down to the other side for North Carolina A&T, their quarterback, Khalil Carter. A little bit of a rougher night, especially through the air. Just 7 of 16 for 62 yards. Luckily for the Aggies, they've had Jermaine Martin, 78 yards on 11 carries.
He has been a very large focal point of this offense, establishing himself in the run game. But in the second half, I look for quarterback Khalil Carter to have a bigger performance in the second half, establish himself in the pass game, completing balls to his talented wide receiver core, and give him a better shot at winning this ball game, because in the first half they were virtually shut out by the Charleston Southern defense.
Yeah, and that defense led by Antone Williams, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. We're going to send it to one more break. It's almost time for the second half. We're going to keep it right here, actually. But getting ready for the second half, I think one of the big things that you're going to be looking for both of these teams, especially on this first drive.
You know, I want to see quarterback Jack Chambers coming out with that big energy. He had it in the first half. I want to see if he can sustain it through the second half, completing all his passes in the first half, or majority of his passes. I want to see if he's able to get over that hump and continue that performance into the second half and finish a full game. For North Carolina A&T, I want to see their defense step up. I want to see their offense step up. I want to see the receivers go out and make the big plays that they're capable of making. And I want to see running back Jermaine Martin continue to produce on the ground.
Well, it's going to be up to the North Carolina A&T defense to get things started off, as the Aggies received in the first half to open the ball game up. The Bucs will now get their opportunity. 15 minutes back up on the scoreboard. A brand new one here at Buccaneer Field. Getting ready, you see standing back there Christian Reed, and alongside him number 84 Tyree Baptiste. And that's not a good sign if you're a CSU fan. That's the spot usually occupied by Jeffrey Hall.
Absolutely. We saw he went out earlier in the first half with a potential ankle or knee injury as he was returning a punt.
Baptiste, he's going to take it, look to the left side, angling towards the sidelines. A good return. That's a pretty solid way to welcome yourself to the ball game as they get out past right around the 30-yard line, it looks like.
And here we're going to get the opportunity to see quarterback Jack Chambers for the first time in the second half. I look forward to head coach keeping his confidence within his quarterbacks, letting them go out there and spin the football a little bit more, because he's proven he's been able to do it under pressure and with a clean pocket.
They're going to start in the shotgun, motion a man across. We a handoff up the middle. Nice run to open up this second half from Ronnie Harris. He's a name that we haven't really been called out too much. Just his 4th carry on the night, but you're not going to see a lot of runs in this new look CSU offense.
Absolutely not, as they intend to establish a new air raid office. There will be limited running allowed, but they will use it in first and second and short and third and short situations.
Well, 2 plays out of the second half and 2 runs, 2 big ones from Ronnie Harris, and they move the sticks.
First down, brought to you by Pepsi.
Now moving quickly. See there in the game, number 88, Isaac Ross, moving out to the far side on the left. Chambers now going to motion him in. All the way around to the right side. Hand it back off up the middle, and picking up 2, maybe 3 yards is Harris, so using him right out of the break.
Absolutely, and I like what they've been doing, motioning guys around, using the read option look, getting Ronnie Harris some wiggle room in the inside to open up those running lanes for him.
Chambers, step up, the entire offense looking over the play call. This play clock wind down just a little bit. Corners come up. Chambers drops back to pass. Steps up over to the left and through the hands. Can't find Cameron Brown. That was good defense over there. Like it was number 9, Antone Wilder.
That was very solid coverage. But that was a really good ball delivered by Chambers. I liked how it had some tempo on the ball, and it was high to the outside, only giving his guy a shot at completing it.
It's going to be 3rd and long 2 of 7 in the first half for the Bucs on third downs. 5 wide receivers.
Looks like the Aggie defense is definitely going to bring some pressure with no safety over the top. It looks like they're going to play man across the board. You look to see quarterback Chambers to get this ball out of his hands relatively quick as he's got nobody else in the backfield with him.
Cross back, quick throw, finds his man, but short of the sticks. Reeling that one in. Number 85, Isaiah Stevens. And that is going to do it. Not close enough. He's up 4th and 3, and here comes the punt team. And to see for the first time since the halftime break, Kyle Reichard. Got to have him mic'd up earlier. The exciting thing is the life of a punter. And Reichard, a pretty dang good one. FCS Punter of the Year watch list member. He takes this one, he's going to boot it deep. Going back, standing about the 7-yard line and fielding that one, making a move. There he goes up the middle, breaking one tackle, up past the 40. What a return there by Corey Banks, and that's a good way to get your offense started off if you're A&T.
Absolutely, putting your offense at a good field position, filling the punt, deep in your own territory, risky, but he's able to make it work with a tremendous amount of speed he brings to this Aggie unit.
Saw Reichard there in to help bring him down. And so here comes Khalil Carter. He had a rough first half, just 7 of 16 for 62 yards. He's going to try and turn things around, and we'll see if they put it all on the back of the big running back, Jermaine Martin. And they're going to hand it off to him first play of this drive. He's going to be met by a Buccaneer, and the whistle's going to be blown. And his progress was stopped. He's able to pick up a couple.
And I like the fact that they're feeding Jermaine Martin. They're giving it back to him. He's been super productive and kind of the only thing that's been working for this offensive unit so far. So going back to him, establish himself in the second half is not a bad idea.
Carter rolling out to his left. He's going to throw it. He has his man. That's Leslie meeting the corner and finally being pushed out of bounds by a couple of Buccaneers. He went head-to-head with Tavian Montgomery, and he came away with the win.
Absolutely. And you see it here, caught on a rollout. And Leslie just lowers the boom on the defender. Not too often you see a receiver trucking somebody.
Well, that was Montgomery, a freshman from Sykesville, Maryland. 5'10", 175, going against the 6'3", 203 Leslie. From the pistol, turns, handing it off to Martin, being met in the backfield immediately. And the ball comes out, and scooping it up, it's CSU ball. Jaheed Beeman there. He forced the fumble, and he picked it back up.
And that's not what you want to see if you're North Carolina A&T. Having a slow first half and then coming out in the second half, trying to get things going, but turning the ball over on your first possession deep in your own territory.
You see the handoff to Martin being met right away. And that ball just came out. Scooping it up there is Jaheed Beeman. Has a huge turnover. It's the first one of the night.
Let's see if this Buccaneer offense can take advantage and kind of start to pull away from this North Carolina A&T football team.
Chambers looking deep. And there's going to be a flag, nearly coming away with it anyways. Was the receiver Cameron Brown, but he took a hit right before the ball gets there, and I'm assuming it's probably going to be pass interference.
Absolutely, but I like the call here. Taking a shot right off the first play.
50-yard penalty for the previous spot results in an automatic first down.
You see here, they just come out, take a shot. Chambers steps up in the pocket, delivers a really good ball, and that backhand of the defender seems to wrap around Cameron Brown. Easy for the referee to spot that and call it.
And Brown nearly still came down with a catch. So moving 15 yards closer, spotted at the 26, right on the edge of the red zone for CSU. Chambers in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off. And fighting forward is Ronnie Harris for a few more yards.
Ronnie Harris on a carry. Tackle made by Second down.
See there, number 94, Justin Cates, limping a little bit as he runs off the field. He's a big part of that defensive line. Graduate from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Motion man goes around, a little bit of a read. They're going to hand it off, and Harris is met immediately by a group of Aggies.
Jermaine McDaniel on the tackle.
They've been motioning the wide receivers across the formation a lot, but the tight end set up in the H-back position, I'd like to see them move him across the formation, giving the defense different looks, having him come across after the ball is snapped, a zone blocker, motion across, then come back to set up as a lead blocker. They haven't really utilized him much in this offensive scheme yet.
And we've been seeing number 88, Isaac Ross, who's been in the game for Jeffrey Hall, the senior who left after suffering a little bit of an injury, a punt return in the second quarter. As the officials currently having a conversation. 2nd down and 7.
Outside, defense. The neutral zone snap. 5-yard penalty for the previous call. Replay the down. Second down.
There's an offsides on moving forward. Didn't see any flag come out, but CSU will certainly take it, and it moves them into the red zone. Two wideouts to the left, one to the right. Chambers play action, looking to the right, looking to the end zone. Going up for it is Williams, and he can't come down with it in the corner of the end zone. Great defense there by Amir McNeil.
I like the idea again. You get the penalty, you get closer, you take another shot, fade ball, back corner of the end zone. Just good offensive play, better defense.
You saw Amir McNeil on that left hand, that yellow cast. Certainly proven he doesn't need his fingers on that play.
Absolutely not. Not in order to make up a pass breakup.
So 3rd down and short. There goes Sims in motion to the right side. High snap. Hands it off. No, Chambers going to keep it. He's got a hole. Fighting to the left side. Stiff-arming a man and finally pushed out of bounds after picking up the 1st down. Big run by Jack Chambers.
Earns another Charleston Southern.
We're going to see Jamari Dunbar check into the game, and here's another look. A high snap, but a good read there by Chambers.
And man, does he have the wheels to escape out of that situation. You know, a high snap could have easily caused some difficulty reading it, but he hesitated. He didn't hesitate at all, snatched the ball out, and cut on the Jets around the corner.
That ball handed off up the middle, and that one was broken up quickly. Number 92, Jermaine Williams, just shot through the gap and broke it up in the backfield. That play didn't even have time to develop. That's how fast Williams was back there.
If he would have been able to keep his footing as he got through, he could have potentially caused another fumble.
Clock running. 2nd goal from the 12. Brown to the left side. Sims and Williams to the right.
Play clock down to 4 now.
And a long time to get this one set up, and now we're going to have a whistle. Timeout, CSU.
Timeout, Charleston Southern.
Timeout on the field. We're going to take it with them. It's 14-6 Charleston Southern, but they're threatening inside the 15.
Every down, every day.
Welcome back in. You're watching ESPN Plus. This Big South Network broadcast is brought to you by Hardee's. If you're hungry, head on over to Hardee's, and for the way that this CSU defense has been playing, they could certainly use some, and they deserve it. But the offense is back out there looking for the end zone as Chambers right out of the break, but he can't find his man Brown in the corner. That was 2nd down and goal from the 12. It'll bring up third and long as CSU, you would love to come away with a touchdown, get those points off of turnovers, and extend that lead a little more.
Absolutely, definitely would. And they've tried running the ball down here, but they haven't had any luck with number 92, Jermaine Williams, causing some disruption in the backfield. But you see quarterback Chambers look to the sideline to get adjustments. We're going to switch the receivers around a little bit and flip Ronnie Harris to the left side of the formation.
Dropping back in the shotgun, facing the pressure, stands in, looking for the end zone, and that's intercepted. In the end zone, an off-balance throw off the back foot, and it's picked off. That's the first turnover of the night for North Carolina A&T. You see there coming away with that one, number 9, Antone Wilder. He dropped back into coverage and just came up a little bit of a ball hawk right there.
Absolutely. Chambers trying to make an off-balance throw. Not much behind that ball. Left it hanging behind the receiver, allowing Wilder to come up and make the play. That is not what you want in the red zone, especially after a big turnover and a couple penalties to get you down to the 12-yard line. You like to come away with points on that drive.
The Atlanta, Georgia native Wilder comes away with his first interception. A little bit of momentum swinging back and forth after the turnover, after the fumble recovery for CSU. They get down into the red zone and they throw an interception themselves. Second INT on the year. This can be quickly handed off up the middle. Jermaine Martin, he's got a hole extending into the secondary, and he's going to pick up a first down. Jermaine Martin, he might have coughed up the football last time out, but they're not showing any fear, giving the ball right back to him.
Absolutely, and you can't show that to this offensive unit that's been struggling. You can't show any fear. You got to, as a head coach and offensive coordinator, remain confident, give the ball back to the only thing that's been working for you so far, and give him an opportunity to put your offensive unit in position to score points and close the gap between the two.
80 yards on 14 rushes now for Martin. Here's number 15 as he gets it up, and he's cut down in the backfield. Nice play made there. That was number 33, Nick Sally, coming in to make the play.
Nick Sally.
And we see here Jermaine Martin trying to remain patient behind his big lineman. Unfortunately, he tries to bounce it outside, and that's when he gets brought down.
Great job by Sally fighting off the fullback, number 46, William Simpson. Second down and 10. Picked up nothing, rolling out to his left is Carter, looking for a man and finds him on the sideline right around the 50. Nice catch there by Corey Banks. They're going to say that he reeled it in, moved the chains.
Yeah, I'd like to see this tempo kind of increase for this Aggie offense. You get a completion, then change move, pick up the speed a little bit, get these guys moving around, hopping around, kind of get the energy back underneath their feet. It seems like they've been dead all night.
Dropping back is Carter, looks left, now scrambles out to the right, flag comes out, it's caught, and sliding out of bounds about the 34-yard line. With that catch is Banks, but it's not going to matter. It's more likely going to be holding on A&T. Up here in the booth, you saw it right away and started motioning towards the flag.
And it's hard for these big linemen, especially when they average about 280, 300 pounds across the board. When you're rolling out like that and you have a speedy, aggressive Charleston Southern defense up front, it's kind of hard for them to keep moving their feet and stay in front of them. They kind of almost have to resort to holding to eliminate any pressure.
So that'll move them all the way back. Is it down to their own 39. First down and 20. Carter, 2 to his left, 2 to his right. He's going to hand it off up the middle to Martin. Martin looking to bounce it outside. Steps through a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Into the linebackers, and he picks up, gets himself right back near the original line of scrimmage.
Williams in on the tackle.
A big run from Jermaine Martin as he's starting to push towards the precipice of the century mark.
Second down and 13.
And on that play, I noticed just how fast this Charleston Southern defensive line is getting off the ball. As soon as it snapped, it's almost instantly they're in the backfield.
Carter under center. Play action, dropping back. He's going to look over to the left and leaping off the hands of Banks. He tried to make the catch on the sideline. And again, pressure from the CSU side. This time comes from the weekend.
Absolutely, and that just comes from their ability to get off the ball. You see spin moves, grip moves, and swim moves all being used to get to the quarterback. They are on a ball hunt to prevent this A&T offense from getting warmed up at all.
1 for 8 on third down so far tonight for A&T. It's 3rd and 13. Carter trips to the left. He's going to drop back, facing pressure, and he's going to be ripped down. That is a sack. Chandre Mims.
Chandre Mims with the sack.
That's a big stop for that Charleston Southern defense after giving up an interception in their own end zone. They're able to stop this drive on third down by a quarterback sack, giving their offense an opportunity still to come back and put up points.
Flexing on him, Chandre Mims. He's had one heck of a ball game himself. He's been in the backfield a lot tonight. Now back out for his 7th punt, Michael Rivers, averaging just a tick over 40 so far tonight. He's going to boot this one deep, standing back for it. There's Isaac Ross, and he's going to let that one bounce out of bounds. Let's see where they spot that one as. Spot at the 25, and that's where CSU is going to start this next drive at. They lead. Find the best variety of officially licensed merchandise, in-conference and school-branded items at BigSouthStore.com. Gear up with some new apparel or find that perfect gift. Get fully equipped for all your game day fun with BigSouthStore.com. And Chambers immediately going to turn and hand it off to his running back, Ronnie Harris, who fights forward and maybe gets a yard. Running the Go Bucks flag around the track here at Buccaneer Field. That's something that this CSU offense, they've been trying to get established in the second half, the running game. As Harris been pretty quiet, 9 carries, 23 yards. There's 2.6 per carry as he stands to the left of Chambers. Chambers going to drop back, look out to the right side. Bringing that one in is Sims, and he escapes one tackler. Gets up just past the marker. That's a first down, CSU.
And that's what I like to see. You know, the running game hasn't been quite their thing tonight, but the quick pass has. They've been able to take advantage of the nickel and dime throws, hit it quick, hit it quick, hit it quick, and then when they need to, take the long ball opportunity and complete it, and that's what's been deadly for them tonight.
Now one dropping back and quickly being cut down in the backfield. Scooped up by his quarterback is Ronnie Harris. Two wide receivers out to the left, one to the right. Chambers in a 2nd and 11.
And they've been in this formation all night tonight, Killian, with that tight end, the H-back set. He hasn't really been doing anything except adding himself as an extra blocker. I'd like to see him, okay, they go in the flat, but I'd like to see him motion them some more. Use them and mix them up. Get the keys of the defensive linebackers looking different ways. That way you can come back and use the run game to your advantage.
Trying to go with a quick pass there was Chambers, but they're nearly coming away with the interception. It was the redshirt freshman Jacob Roberts. First time we've called his name tonight. Charlotte, North Carolina native, so it's a 3rd and long. Got Ross and Williams to the right. Brown and Chapman to the left, dropping back. looking pressured. He's just going to dump it off to Harris. He's got some room in front of him, but he's going to be met by 3 Aggies and ripped down. First man there was Kyan Howard. Jacob Roberts came and helped bring him to the ground, and it's not an ideal drive right there for CSU, as they're going to have to bring the punt team back out.
And it's not, and stemming from a poor lack of ability to establish the run game. They can't get anything going on the ground. They had a couple passes there that looked really good, but I like to see them get back aggressive through the air. They want to establish the air raid offense. You got to use it. You got to hit the quick passes. You got to take what the defense is giving you. There hasn't been much pressure on Chambers all night long. There was a little bit the first time we've seen so far tonight, but I like to see him get back to the air game.
And there's a hat and a hanky on the sidelines. So jog on down and get this all sorted out, as they just punted that one away from Corey Banks, who hasn't had a lot return-wise, but was able to break off a long 32-yarder early in the game. Officials having a conversation down there at the 25-yard line. A&T will take over on offense. We've been absolutely stymied by the CSU defense all night long. Just those 6 points up on the scoreboard. Zebras having a conversation. There we go.
During the kick, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, blocking out of bounds, number 33, North Carolina A&T. After this kick, first down.
And that's a big penalty right there, and with that, we're going to take a break. 3:11 left in the third quarter. A&T being pushed back a few more yards.
Cyberbullying campaigns ever. Text SHRED to 38383.
DoSomething.org. Let's do this.
Get social with the Big South. Join the always growing network of Big South fans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. You can also follow the conference source for game updates and on-site championship coverage via Twitter at Big South Game Day. Follow, watch, like, and share with the Big South Conference. CSU, the Buccaneers of the Big South, going up against the Aggies of North Carolina A&T of the MEAC. And there's the first play of this drive, a handoff, picking up 1, maybe 2 yards. J.D. Sosby in there, bringing down the runner. There is Jermaine Martin. He's had an active night tonight in the backfield.
You know, I'd like to see North Carolina A&T come out with a play-action pass on this. They've been running the ball quite well so far tonight, giving Jermaine Martin a lot of carries, and you see there throw the ball quick down the sideline, but it looks like it's going to be called incomplete as it hops into the receiver's arms.
That play action that you were looking for. They put a man in motion, and then there's a little bit of an underthrown ball. He was looking for Elijah Bell. Didn't get it all the way there.
That looks like it may be close now that we take a second look at it.
We'll bring up a third down. A third and long from their own 14. Pinned back up against their own goal line. Carter to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to drop back to pass, looking left, pumps once, steps up, pumps again, and he's brought down. Another sack for this CSU defense. That's John Poahau. Playing the air guitar all the way to the bench. This defensive line has been wreaking havoc tonight.
They definitely have, but I would have liked to see quarterback Carter get that ball out of his hands on the first thought. Don't hesitate. The minute you hesitate, you trap yourself because you leave yourself with no more options. Get the ball out on the first thought, incomplete or not. It's better than taking a sack in your own territory.
Now, Now standing in his own end zone is the punter, Michael Rivers. He's going to get this one away. It's a short punt, high, bounces just past the 40, and it's going to take a friendly hop past midfield. And now they're going to touch it up at the 46-yard line of CSU. Not the best punt, but got a lucky roll there. You see the man who brought down the quarterback, Khalil Carter, John Poahau from Redwood City, California, the senior. We'll take one more look at that sack. And it's really just a combined effort. That entire defensive front, they're just getting into the backfield, play in and play out.
Absolutely. They've been super active in the backfield, stopping the run game, getting sacks on the quarterback, being as disruptive as they can be at eliminating any possibility for that Aggie offense to get started.
Play action, high throw reeled in by Jamari Dunbar. Brought down behind the sticks. Looks like he might have actually gotten back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
There we go. We start to see that Charleston Southern offense revert back to the air. Fortunately, he had a kind of a missed block there on the screen, but I like to see him take advantage of the quick passes. You got a one-on-one matchup to the top of your screen. Maybe they could take advantage of there with their go-to receiver.
Cameron Brown, we've seen him a lot. He's been beating his man off the line all night long. Harris, who's back in the game, moves to the left of Chambers. Chambers drops back. He's looking to the left. Now he's going to get pressured, brought down, spun around. Leading the way there was Trey Smalls, the senior from Hannah, South Carolina.
3rd down.
And looking back on that play, it looks like Chambers wants to go to his man, but number 9 for the Aggies, Antoine Wilder, does a great job of getting to his designated zone and eliminating any possibility for Chambers to get the ball to his man Brown.
3rd and very long. Chambers does have to snap the ball. And a 7-second difference between the play and game clock. See what they have drawn up on this 3rd down. Do a quick screen out to the left. That's going to be Brown. Brown trying to make a man miss. He gets up right near the original line of scrimmage, and that will do it. We've played 45 minutes. We've got 15 left. Charleston Southern, they're looking for the upset bid over number 17, North Carolina A&T. The punt team will be out in just a moment when we come back from Charleston. The 17th ranked team in the nation currently trails Charleston Southern by 8 as we head to the final 15 minutes. And a streak is on the line for the Aggies. They've won 12 consecutive games on the road against FCS opponents, as there's the 16th combined punt of the night, calling for a fair catch at about the 13-yard line is Corey Banks. But A&T, the last time that they lost to an FCS opponent on the road was 2016. It was at Richmond in the playoffs. It has been a long time, and they've got 15 minutes. They only trail by 8, but they really haven't done much offensively tonight.
They haven't, but there is still plenty of time for them to turn this ball game around. They can just get their offense ignited with a big play or a long drive. That would really help bring back some energy and life back to their sidelines, because as of right now, they're looking really flat.
5 tackles for loss by the CSU defense, and there's a quick little throw to the outside and quickly met up, fighting through some tackles, but the whistle is blown. Reeling that one in, number 84, Quinzel Lockhart.
2nd down.
He was able to pick up about 3 on that first down play. Hits them up past their own 15 at the 16-yard line. Trips to the left side for Carter. Gonna drop back, hand it off to Martin. Martin's got a big hole, makes a cut up the middle past the 30, heading towards midfield. Nobody's gonna catch him, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Aggies.
And that's exactly the play they needed to restore some life back to the offensive unit. That was a good, what you call, tray play. The guard and tackle pull, kick out blocks, and Martin follows those two big fellas around the edge. Here we'll see the guard and tackle pull, and boom, big block. Martin has nothing but green grass ahead, and it's a race to the end zone.
84 yards for Jermaine Martin, a huge run, and the Aggies are right back in this game, one play into the fourth. So they're going to look to go for two and try this game up. Setting the ball up over on the right hash. That was really the first big play all night allowed by the CSU defense. Under center, quick screen over to the left side, and he is in. Quickly finding Elijah Bell for the two-point conversion. We've got a tie ball game.
And just like that, one big running play, a go-for-two play, wisely ran. I love it. Block, it's a little bit of reverse wide receiver screen. Motion him out, bring it back in, throw him the ball, and it opens up perfectly.
And with that, it's a tie game, 14-all. A big run by Jermaine Martin ties it up. For the best in Big South coverage, visit BigSouthSports.com. Stay current with the latest news, results, stats, standings, and much more. Enjoy video features showcasing remarkable student athletes, or connect to school sites or social media outlets, all from one place. Remember, the source for all your conference information is BigSouthSports.com. As here's the kickoff, deep. Fielding that one right at the goal line, leaping up and making the catch. Now taking it out. That's going to be number 84, looking for an edge, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds, ripped down hard. That's Tyree Baptiste back returning, and we still have not seen Jeffrey Hall after he left the game due to injury in the second quarter. Looking at it, we've got ourselves a ball game now again. Jermaine Martin, 18 rushes, 172 yards, and the biggest coming on that 84-yard TD run.
Absolutely. He's been an impact player for that offense, leading them the way, establishing himself in the run game, restoring life to that AT&T sideline. During the break, I can hear him get rowdy. The fans are now into the game going crazy, and it sets us up for a very exciting fourth quarter.
Quick handoff back up the middle, and seen that not really getting much, maybe a yard on that one. As check into the game, that's number 7, Jonathan Earl. First carry on the night for him. Back in the shotgun, working quickly, 2nd and 8. Quick pass over to the right side, and that one is intercepted. Scooping it up. And that's a big turnover for A&T. That's number 39 coming away with that one, the senior Chris Mosley.
It looks like we don't have an official signal yet. I think they're going to take a second look at this to make sure it didn't hit the ground. But it does look like Charleston Southern's offense is running off the field.
And that was just a bad throw by Jack Chambers. We haven't seen him make very many tonight, but the ones that we have, they've been picked off. So they are going to go take a look at it, and we'll get you another look here as well. It's a very close play. It was a ball underthrown, down, heading towards the turf, and it looked like Mosley was able to get his hands underneath it, but they want to have another look.
It was close, and that it looked like it was a poor decision. And here you see just Jack kind of miscommunication, time to throw. Looks like he was expecting his receiver to turn more in, and at the top of his route, he just cuts it down and breaks it off. But that opens room for number 39 to make a play and break on the ball and potentially have an interception.
Yeah, Chris Mosley, 5'10", redshirt senior. And there's another look. It was a tough one. The official standing kind of right in the way of where the play was made. But Mosley, from Queensville, North Carolina, transfer from Mars Hill. There he had 16 pass breakups and 4 interceptions. And
the ruling on the field stand.
Stands, and he has his first as an Aggie. One more look at it.
And I'll tell you what, that's just great effort getting after the ball, not letting it die down and hit the turf before he gets his hands under it. I venture to say we're going to see Jermaine Martin out again and them feed him again on the ground.
Second INT on the night by Jack Chambers. And here comes the Aggie offense. They hand it right off to Martin. Martin get behind those big boys in front of him, and he's tripped up. A very nice play made by the corner, Evan Cruz, coming in to end that one. That was another play. You could kind of see it starting to develop over to the right side before Cruz was able to come in and trip him up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he wanted to get vertical, but he didn't have a lane to really hop into, so it forced him to keep stretching along laterally, giving the cornerback enough time to come and make a play.
Another handoff, looking to try and bounce it outside, spins back, and he is met by 5 or 6 Buccaneers. Great job there. Looked like leading the way was number 40, Garrett Say. Job there, and now it brings up a 3rd and 7. Possibly the biggest play so far of the night for this CSU defense. They've been so good all night long on 3rd downs. Can they get off the field here? Rolling out right is Carter looking for his man. He's found him. He's wrapped up right near the marker. It looks like he's going to be short by about a yard, though.
Late in the game, I venture to say they have to go for it on 4th down, or at least send the field goal unit out there. But it looks like Carter's going to stay on the field receiving the signals from his coaches. And I would go with it. I would do the same thing. This Charleston Southern offense has not been productive so far yet in the second half.
Oh, it looks like they're going to send out the kicker, Ruiz. 2 for 2 tonight, long of 43. Setting up for this one, trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. And it is good. Noel Ruiz gives A&T the lead. It's 17-14, 11:20 left as he is carried off by his big lineman. We're going to take a break. Be right back with the 4th quarter. See there, the upcoming games is we're getting into the conference season. Some big ones coming up: Delaware State, Norfolk State. You pointed out, Dom, that Florida A&M game coming up for A&T. That's a big one.
That is, especially after playing Duke earlier this year. That is going to be a tough schedule ahead.
Defending MEAC champions. They won the Celebration Bowl last year. That one's booted deep into the end zone, and that'll get through for a touchback. First one of the night, and you look at the way that this game's gone. Jack Chambers is going to come back out. He's thrown 2 interceptions. He was so good through 3 quarters, and the 4th quarter, it's been entirely flipped. 5 plays, 95 yards for A&T. 2 plays for just 2 yards for the Bucs.
Yeah, that whole offense has come out and struggled. It looks like they've been a little bit more conservative, trying to get the run game to go a little bit more when it was the pass game that gave them the lead and kept them ahead in the first half. I'd like to see him go back to it, but here we see backup quarterback Ross Malmgren, come in and check into the game.
Yeah, Malmgren checks in. 11 of 13 so far this season. Give him one more, make him 12 of 14, but he had 77 yards and a TD. That was against South Carolina last week, so we're going to see the backup He's out there. The Ackworth, Georgia native.
Completing 70 touchdown passes in high school. That's very impressive.
He's going to drop back to pass, standing in the pocket, looks over. Can't find his man, just out of the reach, and now a late penalty flag coming in. As there was a little bit of contact on Cameron Brown as he ran his route. Looked like Amir McNeil was there on coverage. We'll have to see what they have to say. It might have been roughing the passer.
Pass interference. Number 11, the defense. First down at the spot of time.
So they do get Amir McNeil for the pass interference, and a little too tight on coverage.
Absolutely, but that enables them to extend the drive and get the first down. Very close, though. Roughing the passer is questionable, but I'll take the pass interference if I can get it.
High snap, Malgren looks over and getting met immediately. Big hit being put on there by Antone Wilder. That was Isaiah Stevens able to hold on to that ball. They pick up about 5 yards, however.
Correction. Pass interference was on number 24 of the defense, not 11.
Correcting it out over the PA system, making sure you get Amir McNeil on the pass interference. Second down at about 6. Another high snap. That one handed off up the middle. Big hole, fighting forward near the marker. It's Ronnie Harris. Another rush, just trying to get him into this game. It's been slow treading for him.
It has. It's been really difficult for him to find any room to work with. He's had a couple of long runs, not many, but they've tried to establish him to this game, but this North Carolina A&T defensive front has just overpowered that offensive line.
There's a big third down here for the true freshman. 2 to his right, 2 to his left. Malmgren drops back. The blitz has his man, but off the hands. Ronnie Harris was wide open, and he had all sorts of green grass in front of him, but he couldn't reel it in.
We see here, perfect play call, just a blitz. He knows he's going to get pressure from there. He's got his running back out in the route. He's got to take into account, sit in there and deliver a good ball. I know he's young, but he's got to learn, and that is unfortunately a costly mistake.
Just a little behind Ronnie Harris. As here's another punt, high spiraling kick coming down at about the 16, 17-yard line, it looks like. And that will do it. We're going to take a break. 9:23 left in this game. North Carolina A&T.
Pizza for just $7.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Big games coming up for the Buccaneers. Number 7 at Kennesaw State on the 12th. And heading across the town, facing off against your old team, the Citadel, next week. Dropping back quickly is going to be Carter looking deep. He's got his man caught, ripped down by Elijah Bell, and they're into CSU territory. That's one of the first big passing plays we've seen all night.
I think it's the only big passing play we've seen all night, and the first one from Khalil Carter. You see him actually looks comfortable and delivers a beautifully thrown ball. Close to a little bit of push off down there, but I like the no call. Good reception, moving his offense down the field, trying to get more points on the board.
I believe with that reception, Elijah Bell has just set the North Carolina A&T all-time receiving record, as there's another quick strike over the middle. That's a good catch by Leslie.
And this is the most comfortable Carter's looked all night. You see him here. Play action, sit, feet set, and drive the ball into Leslie. That ball was coming out of a cannon. You haven't seen that all night. He's looked very timid, kind of very hesitant on his throws.
5th reception for Leslie. That's a team lead tonight. Carter back again. Play action, looking for the end zone. Back over the middle, off the hands. He was looking for Bell. He nearly reeled in the one-handed catch, and it would have been a spectacular one for a touchdown, but just out of his reach.
The same play they ran previously, they try to go back to it and steal some points out of it. Unfortunately, the safety was aware of it and was able to get over to the other side of the field and make Leslie aware of his presence.
Second down now, inside the red zone at the 18. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Carter. Jermaine Martin stands right next to him. Gonna drop back, hand it off to Martin up the middle, fighting his way forward. Picking up a good gain there on second down. It'll make it 3rd and short.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
Another big 3rd down here. A&T's just 1 of 11 tonight.
They would like to convert here after a big pass play to get him down here, and then another play to move him further into red zone territory. What do you think? They go to the run game or the air game?
You see, it looks like they're going to go to the air. Throwing over the middle. Caught. No, in and out of his hands. Bell looked like he had it, and then he dropped it.
4th down.
That'll bring up 4th down, and a missed opportunity for a touchdown there. You see there, just right through the hands of the senior. And a huge stop for Charleston Southern. Now 1 of 12 on 3rd down are the Aggies. Here comes Noel Ruiz. He's 3 for 3 tonight so far. Just to make it a 6-point game. Kick is up, and it is off the post. No good.
There's a flag down, however, so there could potentially be a re-kick or even a 1st down possibility.
You see big number 74 there, DeJour Simpson giving a thumbs up to the sideline.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, number 10. After this is the goal, automatic 1st down.
That penalty goes to Edward King, and that hurts for the Buccaneers.
Absolutely. The Aggies got a break there, but you see it down on the bottom of your screen. King just puts his hands up to the helmet area, and unfortunately, you cannot do that.
The A&T fans, they traveled, they're wearing their gold. They're starting to get loud for their team as they can sense an opportunity to try and stretch this lead after the penalty on the missed field goal. So Carter's going to go back out, Martin behind him in the pistol. He's going to turn and hand it off to him to the left side, and Martin's going to slip down on the turf. He's going to lose a couple on that one.
Jermaine Martin on the carry. Cody Klein with the tackle. 2nd down.
It seems tonight for both teams, this inside run play, the zone replays have not been there at all. It's been the quick passes and then the deep passes when you can get your receiver down the sideline or across the middle. You know, I look to see him take advantage of the pass game here. A quick slant, a quick hitch.
Looking for Leslie in the corner, going up, fighting, and off the hands. No flag coming out from the official, letting them go at each other. It was Leslie and Gerard Stanley in the corner going at it. So another 3rd down. This one 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. We said the last one was big. This one's even bigger. Leslie to the bottom of the screen. Bell to the top side. Be a play action looking for Bell going up. Makes the catch in the corner. Incomplete. He didn't get a foot down.
And that'll bring up 4th down.
Great coverage there. They went right back to Gerard Stanley. They had the bigger man, Elijah Bell, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's close. It looks like he was trying to drag a toe, but just didn't have the ball quite yet.
conversation about it. They had two officials right there looking at it. The one right in the corner of the end zone. The back judge underneath the goalposts.
They may want to try and take another look at this on the replay.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under review.
So they will take a look at it. The big thing with this one is it's called incomplete on the field, so you need clear and overwhelming evidence to overturn it, and I'm not sure they have that.
I'm not sure they do either. I mean, that's a tough angle from what we have. Looking almost down the back of the end zone, it's hard to tell if he had possession of the football and if his toe was inbounds.
We'll get another look at it here in just a moment. Here it is. Here's one angle. That's just so close, you can't really tell. There's the other one that we have right in the far corner.
Just can't tell.
I'm not sure that they have enough to overturn it.
I'm sure we'd have a great angle from one of those cameramen down there. Excuse me, camera ladies as well. I'm sure they caught it.
There'll be a great photo of it on one of the two teams' websites.
Absolutely.
And you see there, it's just so tight, you can't really tell if his foot's up or if it's down in that corner. You can't, from this angle, you can't tell where his foot is in relations to the boundary.
Yeah, you can't.
So they're making sure to look at it. We've got the same angles as the officials do. Replay official tonight, Penn Wagers. He's getting his work cut out on this one.
He does. But unfortunately, I think this is going to be held up as an incomplete, but we will get the official call here shortly.
Taking their time, want to make sure to get this right in a very close game. 3-point lead for A&T. We'll take another look at it.
Man, that's close. That's really, really close.
Another really good angle from our camera crew tonight.
After review, the ruling on the field stand. 1 minute.
It was very close, and I think the biggest thing was they didn't have that clear and convincing look.
I'm going to have to agree with you. There wasn't enough angles, or you couldn't get a clear vision if he was in bounds or not.
So here's Noel Ruiz back out. His last one hit the goalpost. It's up, and that one splits the uprights. A little less stressful that time for A&T. They get into the red zone. They have two opportunities to score a touchdown, but they can't punch it in. They come away with 3, and they hold a 6-point lead over the Buccaneers.
There's still plenty of time, though. 6:39 left on the clock for Charleston Southern to get a drive constructed together, brush some time off the clock, and get themselves into the end zone.
Looking down on the sidelines right now, number 5, Ross Malmgren. He's got his helmet on, so it looks like it's going to be him. Jack Chambers standing right by him. As you see there, the band getting into it. Down there in the corner of the end zone. They haven't had a lot of action tonight coming their direction. They would love nothing more than a touchdown heading their way.
They absolutely would, especially to cap off this game. A game-winning drive to seal the deal, that would be perfect.
So he's out there, ready to send this one deep. Tyree Baptiste. They're going to kick it his direction. Right towards the corner. He's going to field it about the 3-yard line. Cutting towards the sidelines, and he's going to get out towards the 25. They'll mark him just past it around the 26, and that's where this drive will start for CSU, and we'll see who comes out under center. And it looks like number 5, Malmgren, is in the huddle, and here he comes. So the true freshman going to get another opportunity. And speaking on him, you mentioned it when he first came out, 70 touchdowns in high school, 7,356 yards. He holds school and county records in both of those from Ackworth, Georgia. Going through the offense now, 6:30. His team trails by 6. He's going to drop back to pass. Steps up, off the hands, nearly intercepted. And that was one that the receivers got to come down with. That was Isaiah Stevens.
Absolutely. 2 hands on the ball. You have to get it, especially in such a critical situation. Easy pass here. A little behind him, I do admit, but you got to come down with that ball.
Malmgren put a little bit extra on that pass, too. It looked like maybe a little jitters being out there in this tight ball game. Trips to his right. He's going to drop back, look over the middle, finds his man. That's Brown, who's wheeled down. A good pickup. And about 7, it looks like. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Good night so far from Brown. 7th reception. That one takes him over the century mark. 104 yards now.
Yeah, man-on-man coverage to the top of your screen. Looks to be man across the board with 1 high safety.
Malmgren drops back, looking for another quick pass. Looking for Brown, and now they're looking for a flag, but they won't get one. Amir McNeil was there on the coverage.
One thing this young quarterback is going to have to learn is no matter if pressure's coming to you and it's in your face, you have to learn to sit in the pocket and stand strong and deliver the football and get off of your back foot. It looks like there he's trying to sit on his back foot a little and kind of sidearm or Brett Favre it in there, which unfortunately isn't the most accurate way to get the ball to your receiver. Sometimes you know you're going to take the hit. You might as well complete the pass while you're at it.
Here's the 10th punt on the night for Reichart. That's a high, booming punt. Fielding that at about the 24-yard line on a fair catch is number 2, Corey Banks. And 3rd down has not been friendly to either one of these teams. A&T 1 for 13, and after that last one, CSU's 3 for 14.
Not a lot of offense production tonight. There have, however, been some really big defensive plays and big stops, which has made this very exciting.
At 5:43 left in this one. I assume that A&T is going to go into a 4-minute offense, try and wind down the clock a little bit. They're going to hand it off to Martin to the right side. He has a hole up past the 30, into the secondary, misses a tackle, up past the 40, still going to the 20, 15, breaking towards the sideline, misses it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jermaine Martin.
It's the same play that he scored on previously from 84 yards. The counter tray. He follows his big offensive lineman around the edge, picks out a hole he wants to hit, and explodes through. See, guard, tackle, pull, finds a hole, explodes.
Breaking tackles, using his speed, the complete package tonight from Jermaine Martin. Have a night, young man.
Kind of reminds me of Todd Gurley running out there. Number 30 with the dreads. I like it. Fast, breaking tackles.
253 yards on the ground now for 2 TDs. And A&T has extended the lead 27-14. In a game that was so close, CSU had been leading for a majority of the night. Then the fourth quarter comes around and A&T's starting to flex their muscle.
Believe it or not, there's still time though. There's still time to get a quick score, kick the ball off or onside kick, stop them on defense, get the ball back, and potentially put up another score.
A huge run for 76 yards. Jermaine Martin, he's got an 84-yard touchdown run and now a 76-yarder. As you see Christian Reed going back now, the third-string quarterback. He's going to be alongside Tyree Baptiste. And now if you're CSU offensively, you're definitely starting to feel the pressure and you're going to have to get moving on offense.
Absolutely. Time is not your friend in this situation. Although there's still an opportunity for you to come back in this ball game, you have to score quick. You cannot be wasting any time. Your tempo has got to be quick, run a play, execute. There can't be any penalties, senseless penalties. This is where winners are made.
Malmgren's going to be heading back at you. See there, number 5, right in the middle of the screen. There's that A&T sideline. Been held quiet most of the night. In the fourth quarter, they have taken complete control. So now Malmgren and company are going to try and reel this game back in. He's going to be all by himself. 5 wide receivers. A drop back, quick pass over to the right side, and making that catch is the third-string quarterback, Christian Reed. Sophomore from Noonan, Georgia, making his first catch of the night.
And I like a good, quick decision. Get the ball in and out of your hands to your playmakers. Let them go out and make a play. Same
quick
thing
pass.
here.
That one right up the sidelines and being forced out of bounds. Good job
Flag
by
on the
Williams,
play.
and here comes a late flag.
I think it may be against the Aggie defense with the unnecessary roughness.
Okay, you'll watch here a little bit of a late hit after he's forced out of bounds.
He's kind of already given himself up. It's close, but I think they're flagging because the receiver's giving himself up.
Personal foul. Late out of bounds on the defense. Number 9. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
15 yards for CSU, and I can see for down there on the Aggies sidelines, he wasn't actually out of bounds yet, so it's a tough one to swallow if you're A&T. That moves them up past midfield. Still 5 wide receivers from Malmgren.
Looks like they're going to play a couple 4 here.
Steps up in the pocket, evades the pressure, finds Reed underneath. Reed puts on a stiff arm, and he's finally spun out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down.
This young man has done a good job at leading his offense down the field, making quick decisions, stepping up in the pocket, not getting afraid, delivering the ball to his playmakers.
Quick snap, that one goes outside. Another quick screen, that one to Brown. He's forced out after picking up 2, maybe 3 yards. He gets out of bounds, more importantly, stopping the clock. So they'll restart it again as the ball gets set up. 4:30 to go.
You know, they've thrown the screen ball a lot tonight. I wonder if they're going to fake the screen and hit the wheel behind the defenders here anytime soon.
Malmgren drops back. 4-man rush coming right at him, spins away, he's able to get it out of his hands. That was off the fingertips of Isaiah Stevens, but a great job by the freshman evading pressure.
Absolutely. A little bit risky of a ball thrown under distress, but way to buy yourself some time. You see here, he steps up, spins backside, and delivers the ball only where his guy can get it.
A twist from that front of the Aggies. And a wide open shot towards Malmgren. Checking in is Harris. He's going to stand to his left. 3rd and long. 3 of 14 on 3rd downs, and now we're going to have a whistle.
Timeout. North Carolina A&T. Their first time out of the half. This will be a full timeout.
So A&T likes to take their first timeout. They want to get their defense set up. Get some water out there. A little bit of a fresh breath of air real fast. As we mentioned, 3rd downs. It was a big thing for CSU. That was one of the keys of the game. And their defense has done a spectacular job. 1 of 13 tonight for A&T offensively. But then you flip it over to the other side. You got to help your defense out. They're 3 of 14 themselves offensively are the Bucks.
Absolutely. Their offense has struggled on and off throughout the night. They had a couple good drives early in the first half, giving them 14 points up on the board with beautiful touchdown passes from quarterback Jack Chambers. Unfortunately, in the second half, that production slowed down quite tremendously, with this being their first drive of going from one end of the field to the other. You know, in order to be successful, you're going to have to be able to sustain drives consistently throughout the game.
Holmgren from the shotgun drops back. Here comes the blitz, looking deep. Can't find his man, but there is a flag. Jalen Bethea was in cover, and it looks like he's going to be the one that's hit with it. He was trying to stick with Isaac Ross. Here's another look at it there in the slot. That's a tough one for Bethea, trying to stay with the speedy receiver.
It was, and the argument could be made that that ball was uncatchable because it was so far underthrown. But the hold was so blatant. You know, it's easy for the ref to spot.
Pass interference, defense number 33. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
They're going to give him the pass interference in the 15 yards. That'll move the chains on 3rd down. See there, this Bucks offense needs to punch it in and quickly. Inside the red zone. Holmgren drops back on 1st down, looking for the corner and can't find his man, and there's another flag. He was looking for Brown, got a little bit of a shove right at the goal line, and it might be back-to-back plays for the Aggies with pass interference. Like Najee Reams back in coverage. Take another look at it.
Pass interference.
Yeah.
20 to defense.
As a referee, you have to call that. And as a defender, you have to realize that's unnecessary. The ball is already on track going out of bounds. It's not catchable. There's no need to put your hands on him to disrupt his path for any reason. There's no threat of him scoring a touchdown there. Now, granted, if that ball was 2 yards inside and there was a threat of a touchdown, I'd agree with it.
So they deemed the contact was in the end zone, puts the ball at the 2-yard line. Holmgren, read option, hands it off up the middle, pushing towards the goal line. A&T's defense is there, though, and they stop him at the 1.
Ronnie Harris on the carry.
Trying to go hurry up now. You see the handoff up the middle. There's a hole there for a split second. Another quick one looking to the left side. Brown bobbles it. He got it.
Touchdown.
They say he reeled it in. Touchdown, CSU. The fireworks go off. Cameron Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And that is exactly the drive they needed. Good job out of this young man. Great ball placement. It's close. It doesn't look like he had full possession. But if they can get the kickoff, I think
that's what they're going to
head officials may be discussing it.
All scoring plays are reviewed. They're taking a look on to see if they need to go and have another look at it.
The ruling on the field is completed pass and the touchdown. The previous plays in a further review.
They are going to go and have another look at it. This is a big review for Charleston Southern. Granted, you'd still be down at the 2-yard line, but you'd love to be able to just not have to run another play.
Absolutely. You know, you already have one called. It's tough to find another go-to play for a touchdown. That's really close. It looks like he juggled it right as he was stepping out of bounds.
And you saw there Amir McNeil moving those hands up and down, trying to say that. Taking a look at it. See another angle. That's another one that it's just tough to know. Do you have that evidence to overturn it?
Man, a pylon cam sure would be nice here at this level.
Look, a good pass from Malmgren, quickly out of his hands.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
So it stands. The touchdown stays up there. Second one of the night for Cameron Brown. He's had himself one heck of a ball game. 8 receptions for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those 8 receptions, that's a new career high for him. Here comes the place kicker, number 47, Alex Usry. Waiting for the ball to be put back in play. Try and make this a 6-point game again. And he splits it. 27-21, North Carolina A&T holds the lead. There's our camera crew down there. Great work tonight. Helping us get all the angles on that touchdown down there in the corner. So now, 3:38 left to go in this game. You're down by 6. You have all 3 timeouts. Dom, I'll have you put on your coach's cap. What would you do? You send it deep and trust your defense that they've played well all night long. They've been gashed on a couple big plays. Or do you try that onside kick?
Yeah, that's tough because if you don't, you give AT&T a short field to work with, which their offense has generated late in this fourth quarter. And I do not want to give Jermaine Martin a short field to work with to potentially put up another touchdown. But it looks like they are going to line up for an onside field goal, which their defense has, so I can see why the head coach does trust their defense.
Isaiah Singleton, you are our winner. Free oil change from Stokes.
So Tool out there. A&T is setting up as if they're prepared for the onside kick. See if CSU goes with it or if they boot it deep. They do have Corey Banks standing back at about the 17-yard line. Here comes Tool, and he's just going to send it deep. Banks backpedaling, fields at about the 3. He's going to bring it out, looking to the left side, trying to get some blocks. Breaks one tackle, but he's met immediately. He doesn't get back to the 20. A good kick. It's going to be a long field for A&T. It's now up to the Buccaneers defense.
Absolutely, and the way they've been playing this evening, I would love to have to rely on their defense. They have been disruptive in the backfield and in the pass game. With the exception of a couple long runs from Jermaine Martin, they have done an excellent job tonight.
They have all 3 timeouts, 3:29 on the clock. A&T is going to look to try and ice this game away. Carter in the shotgun. He's just going to hand it off to Martin, who's going to look left. He's got a big hole, fighting his way forward, still on his feet, and finally ripped down past the marker. Give him 12, maybe 13 on another big run.
And again, you see them come back with the counter tray. It looks like they have figured out a way to get past this Charleston Southern defense by pulling both the guard and tackle, adding some extra beef to one side of the offensive line, making more room for running back Jermaine Martin to run through.
24 carries, 266 yards, and a couple of TDs for Martin. Going under center, fullback William Simpson back in the game. Pushing the tight end over. Turn, hand back off to Martin. Big hole up the middle. He's into the secondary. There he goes again. Finally ripped down at the 35-yard line of CSU.
And what a play that was.
What do you do to stop him?
He's just finding gaps. I mean, and it's hard to stop a talented running back who runs the ball as hard and as physical as he does, because if you try to blitz, you potentially take the risk of taking yourself outside of a gap and opening up another one. So with a back who has vision like him, it's easy for him to spot that and hop into the next gap and rip you for another 20 or 30-yard run.
Breathing a little heavy as Martin, but he's staying out there. Carter's going to keep this one himself, looking for the edge, and he's going to be ripped down. Picks up maybe 1 yard. Under 2 minutes now, and it looks like we're going to have CSU starting to use their timeouts. Coach Autry Denson calling for the first one. And this is where this is really getting down to it, as the officials are having a conversation. They might be going over how much time's left on the clock.
But how about that drive from Charleston Southern?
Timeout. Charleston Southern. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 55 seconds. Thank you.
Put 9 seconds back on the clock, but you're saying.
But how about that drive from Charleston Southern's offense with true freshman quarterback leading them? That was excellent execution by him, not getting flustered with the game potentially on the line, driving his team down methodically, executing the short passes, nickel and diming, getting the run game going a little bit, and taking advantage of a beautiful throw down here in the corner of the end zone, getting himself his first career college touchdown.
Yeah, big one. And they'd love to give him an opportunity to try and win this football game. It's going to be up to the defense, though. 2nd and 9, 1:55 left. Ball is at the 34 of the Buccaneers. We've seen so far tonight, Noel Ruiz, he's 4 for 4 on field goal tries, along of 46. They're going to come back out. They're going to give Martin a breather. It's Baker now in the backfield. Gonna turn, hand it off to Baker. Baker stops in the backfield. He's ripped down for a loss. Big play made there. That's number 10, Edward King. And there's another quick timeout by CSU.
And you saw there A&T try to go back to the power play that got them down there with Jermaine Martin, motion the tight end, bring the fullback around to the other side of the formation for the kickout block. But unfortunately, there was just too much pressure from that Charleston Southern defensive front.
Second timeout, it was a quick one. Tack on 1 extra second. This is a big 3rd down and 12. A&T struggled all night long. We've talked about it all night long. 1 of 13 on 3rd downs. And for CSU, the biggest thing, if they cannot allow them to pick up too many yards, they might be able to force a punt.
They could, but that'll leave them with a very, very stressful 1-minute offensive drive.
A field goal would essentially ice the game. It would make it 30-21. make it a 9-point game. A 2-possession one. Martin back out. A big 3rd down from the 37. Carter in the shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass. Looks left. Has his man at the sticks. He's fighting forward, and he's got the 1st down. Elijah Bell, when you need a reception, you go to that man, and he comes up huge.
What great effort to keep fighting and get his feet churning to get to the 1st down marker. Simple curl route. DB closes on it quick, but he's unable to get Bell down, and Bell just keeps his feet moving, churning more and more to get to the 1st down.
5th reception for 77 yards. Now you'd imagine the ball is going to be handed off to the man standing to Carter's left as a player comes on the field late. There's a snap and now a flag. And he's running out onto the field late was wide receiver Chance Pride for A&T.
That is going to be costly, especially down here now towards the red zone.
5 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
It's going to be 1st and 15. 1:42 left. They've certainly been doing the math on the sidelines, and it's looking like A&T is just going to kneel this one out.
The foul was prior to the snap. Please reset the game clock to 1:44.
So they put on 2 more seconds. 1st and 15, but Khalil Carter in the victory formation, the Swedish formation if you're a quarterback. And he drops down to a knee, and the clock will slowly tick away. So North Carolina A&T, they'll improve to 2-1. Charleston Southern will drop to 0-3. They put up a valiant effort tonight, led a majority of the way, but a big 4th quarter from A&T really took it away. 21-7, the Aggies outscored the Bucks. As Carter goes under center, he'll take one more knee, and with that, we'll take a look at the Hardy star player of the game. I feel like it's pretty obvious. Number 30, Jermaine Martin.
Yeah, and he had himself one heck of a night tonight, being the impact player for North Carolina A&T on the offensive side of the ball, running the ball with tremendous effort, explosiveness, power, and speed. There with great vision, following his blockers, finding the open hole, breaking tackles. He virtually led this team to victory himself tonight.
25 rushes, 299 yards, and 2 TDs. And that will do it. North Carolina A&T travels down south to Charleston and comes away with a comeback victory, 27-21 over the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. So, it was a tough night. Both sides scrappy going back and forth, Tom, but your final thoughts on the way that this one ended?
You know, I thought Charleston Southern did a really good job. They focused on the key points they needed to do to win the game. I thought quarterback Chambers had a really good outing. I thought the defense did what they could on 3rd down and stopped this high-powered offense and got them off the field. But it wasn't until late in the 4th to where they could no longer hang on. That defense fought tooth and nail, and I thought Charleston Southern did a really good job of coming out tonight and establishing themselves in the air game and struggled a little bit in the run game. But A&T, with running back Jermaine Martin, he was virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, well, Jermaine Martin, he came in as a second-team preseason All-MEAC. He showed it off tonight. Final score, 27-21, North Carolina A&T. For my partner, Dom Allen, my name's Killian McClatchy. Thank you for joining us.